Well, hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Video Games Podcast. Podcast where we discuss video-related games and games-related news. My name is Jimmy Gang, and I'm joined by Paul McBride. Mike Gibson. Jason Zopoulos.
Yo.
And once again, special guest Seth Bellegarde.
Hey guys.
He's back.
I'm here.
He's back
again.
So how
From
is
outer
everybody?
space.
Wait, what?
Back from outer space.
Outer space?
I mean,
The hell were you
it's
doing in outer
losing.
space?
Look.
What were we
What I
playing,
do
14?
in my own time with my hand.
Oh, dear Lord.
Goodness.
Wow, that took a turn.
Oh no.
So Paul's back after he
Unfortunately.
abandoned us for the
Back
E3
again.
episode. So Paul, why don't you tell everyone why you weren't here?
I was in Africa,
Africa, huh? What were you doing in Africa?
going on an Alaskan cruise.
Ooh, it's a long trip.
That's a long ass cruise.
I just got back, and boy, are my arms tired.
Oh,
What
Do you have
did
to row?
I'm thinking
I
he's
don't know.
going with
I
you
never
through there.
understood that. I never got that joke.
Wait.
Kidding.
Okay.
Oh,
It's about traveling
So
It's about having to work off your traveling debts. If
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Oh.
about.
With your arms.
Wink.
I get it. I
So
get what
what,
you're talking
what
about.
did you do in Alaska? Did you play any games during the E3?
Oh, we're getting right into it. Yeah, I did play some games.
Well, I mean, no, I just mean.
Oh,
Never
we're not
mind.
getting right
Oh.
into it. Never mind.
Don't talk about games, Paul.
No
What,
games
what
yet.
did you do in Alaska besides play games and make your girlfriend angry?
Oh, well, I can't play Civ 5 while having this conversation. So one of these things is going to have to end.
Wait, why are you
Or
playing that
six.
old game?
Six.
Man,
Playing 6.
Why are you just shouting 6 at me?
I don't
What is
know.
going on with this episode?
Oh God, I'm really rusty, guys.
you
can't
leave-
do this.
Too much
you're not
of that
allowed,
Alaskan
you're not
salt
allowed
water?
to leave ever again.
Too much Alaskan salt water. It's just the cultural changes. Okay, I have to hold on. Let me get out of this. This is
Oh,
Seth
dear
and I have
Lord,
no idea what's
this
going
is an
on.
editing nightmare.
no, it's not. You just put this all in. This is all in. Let's just we'll do it live.
And we're back.
Fuck it, we're live.
We'll do it live.
Do it
And
live.
that exit cut here?
Are we gonna do the musical episode live?
Yep. Okay. So yeah, I was in Alaska. I played some games. I saw some glaciers and stuff.
Yeah, how big?
I saw the largest glacier in North America.
Yeah.
Did it shrink while you were there?
What is it made
It
of?
was very cold up there, so it said not to judge it too harshly. Glaciers are rivers of ice. I learned that from the park ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tell me it was
Yep.
wrong.
No.
What?
Because why
didn't.
not?
No, they're intense, man. They're serious about it too.
I see.
The environment's important to them. I think it's just because they're afraid they're going to lose their job if the environment.
Well, yeah.
Well,
no
no
job
shit.
security.
Exactly.
Well, at that point, they just become historians.
That's true.
that's a little fucked up.
The park lore keeper.
I mean, it's true.
Once this area was filled with trees.
Oh,
Son,
shit.
listen to my story.
And then they-
I'm a ranger. Now, I just tell the history of my people.
No, I'm uploading pictures to your mobile devices of what this place used to look like.
Oh my God, VR or AR, I guess, would be such a big
AR.
deal in that.
Yeah.
Like, look, you can see what it did look like
You
here.
could see.
Before we all ruined it.
You could almost not smell the smog from the Trump Towers we see 2 miles away.
Mhm.
But anyway,
But anyhow,
so you were on a boat the whole time?
no, we stopped in some ports. I mean, it was a cruise. I had never been on one, so that was a new experience. But-
I've never been on a cruise.
I was afraid it would be boring because it sounds terribly boring.
It sounds boring.
So I brought my Switch and my PlayStation,
Nice.
and again, as you said,
Now,
My
when you say
girlfriend was there.
PlayStation, do you mean PlayStation 2?
No, PlayStation 1.
Oh, nice.
oh, you mean the PSX?
So you played some Final Fantasy 7?
No, I brought my PlayStation.
Your PlayStation your what?
My PlayStation 4.
Ah.
Oh, so you
okay.
played some Final Fantasy VII Remake.
So what did you play?
Oh, so I brought my Switch and I played some Shantae Half Genie Hero, which
Now,
is one
when
of
I
the
looked at that
7
game,
games
it
available
looked
for
like
Switch.
it didn't look like it was called Shantae Half Genie Hero. It looked like it was called Shantae 1 Genie 2 Hero.
Hmm.
Is that not right?
That's because you don't understand fractions.
Oh, damn it! I fucked up.
You forgot about your terrible disease,
My
where
terrible.
fractions don't make any
I see
sense to you.
fractions as numbers. That's
Fuck
the
it, we're
problem.
live. Keep the fuck ups in.
What?
I said we're live. Keep the fuck ups in.
What fuck
Oh,
ups?
this is all gonna stay in.
What fuck ups?
Jimmy doesn't understand fractions.
Right. That was the whole
That's-
bit, Seth.
That's a thing.
Is you making this meta now? Is that what
Two heroes,
man.
one genie.
Oh, you could probably you probably find that.
Wouldn't it
I
be
don't
two?
want to.
Wouldn't it be two lizards, one Shantae? Isn't that what it would be? Or is that a
God.
different? Is that a
I don't
different-
know.
Is that a fanfic?
That's a deep hole you could go down if you really wanted to.
Please don't talk
Anyways.
about Shantae's
Oh,
deep
I
holes.
see what you did there.
Oh no! I also, speaking of deep holes, I also played some Horizon Zero Dawn, which I bought
Okay.
back when it came out and never played.
How is
'Cause
that?
A lot of games came out all at that time.
I want to hear your thoughts on this game because I'm going to play it eventually, and it looks awesome.
I have a lot of interest in it as well. Now, did you just play the base game, or yeah,
Oh,
the
I didn't
expansion
even-
for
I
it isn't
didn't-
out yet, right?
It's not complete. They have a big expansion coming out later. They announced it
Right.
for you, but no, I'm probably like 8 hours into it, or 6, probably about 8 hours into it.
8
And
hours.
I think the
Okay.
game. Yeah, I'm 8
Isn't it
hours
like a
in.
20-hour game?
I think 20 if you mainline it, but if you're doing all the stuff, I'd say you're probably looking at closer to 30, 35.
Has the
Okay.
open world opened up yet?
Yes.
So you've done the thing?
I don't know what that means.
There's a thing that you're supposed to be building towards that when you do it reveals the actual real map and not the fake one you've been running around in.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
Congratulations, Mike. You fucked it for him.
Okay.
You ruined it.
it's fine. You'll figure it out.
No, I've climbed dinosaurs, but I've not revealed the real
You
map.
climbed dinosaurs.
Yeah, you climb up long necks.
Oh
and
my
you,
God.
It's like Assassin's Creed, and then you jump off into a hay
A
basket.
hay basket. Nice.
Hail
So
Mary.
everyone's been comparing this game to Zelda. Do you think that's right?
I think that's probably because they came out about the same time, and they're both open world games where you shoot a bow sometimes, but also
Yeah.
sometimes you hit things up close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in that way, yeah. There's definitely tons of similarities between the two in, like, if you're going to be really reductive about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Zelda, though an amazing game, doesn't really have a story. I mean,
No.
Yeah,
we kind of
You
addressed
gotta
that before.
you gotta have to look for it, kind of.
Yeah, the
Greatest story
stories
ever
and
told.
it's the
Oh my
story,
God.
stories and flashbacks. There's no.
Yeah.
I mean, to be
Like-
fair, there is more. Isn't there like more cutscenes in this Zelda than there was in any of the other ones?
Cutscenes. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's not really a game that they've done cutscenes in. It's just been
Yeah.
real. It's just been.
There you go. Cutscenes equal
Things-
story.
they never really- Oh well.
I feel like
there
it's hard.
I think
There's-
the Kojima school of storytelling. The longer
There
the
was
cutscenes
cutscenes in
the more story.
Ocarina.
The older Zelda games have more narrative. I mean, they're more about a journey you're going on. This one's like, hey, go find your own journey.
Ocarina had cutscenes.
What happened in them?
Well, for one, you see when Ganon rolled up to the castle and met the king.
Hey, I haven't
Oh,
played
right.
Ocarina yet. Would
Yeah,
you please
spoilers.
not spoil it? We talked about this
Jeez.
on episode 1. I've not played Ocarina. Please do not spoil.
Well, that's
game's
too
like
bad.
15
I'm waiting
years
for
old, you'll get
I'm waiting
over
for
it.
the double remake. I don't want to play the
That game's
3DS.
more than 15 years old.
They made me do spoilers for Final Fantasy X. You're getting Ocarina of Time spoilers. Get over it.
You mentioned the combat, how it's close and far. It was another thing I was curious about. How often are you actually getting in close and doing combat?
So the up close stuff is kind of like, I mean, you've played shooters before, right?
No.
Like stealth
Never.
shooters,
Never.
shooters where you're
Never played a
you're
shooter.
like action stealth
Oh,
shooter.
like Siphon Filter.
Sure, that works. How often do you grab guys from behind and do stealth kills or like choke them out in those kind of games?
So it's only specialized stuff that you get in close for?
It's mainly specialized. You also, like, if shit gets hairy, like R1 and R2 are on the controller are linked to melee, but that's the extent of your melee combat. R1's a light, R2's a heavy.
Okay.
And the only time you really use them is if
I'm
things
surprised
get
there's
too-
that many.
Right. If shit gets too close to you, you can push those buttons. But for the most part, there's a lot of like the game definitely rewards stealth play. You can insta
Okay.
kill a bunch of stuff that would be a pain in the ass to kill otherwise.
Everyone I've seen play that game is sneaking around all the time.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, you don't have to because it's not like on the normal difficulty. It's not hard enough that like I died for the first time in the last mission. And
Like, you're really good at games.
no, I'm not.
Paul's the greatest gameplay I've ever met.
I'm not.
He's ranked with the top 500 people in Overwatch currently.
That is true.
No, I'm match made with the top 500 people, which says more
Right.
about the game than it does about me.
I don't know. You were complaining when we were playing with you because we were bringing you down.
Well, I'm just gonna say that when I was playing with you guys, I didn't see hardly any top 500 people.
It's all that time in the Alaskan wilderness, just training
Yeah.
himself. Like, he sat under a waterfall, and he climbed a mountain.
He punched a glacier in half, made that ranger real mad.
It's like, nice nature you got here. Sure would be a problem if something were to happen to it.
You just tell him, I've created another glacier. There's now 2 glaciers.
In fact,
I'm
yeah,
improving
Horizon-
things.
So Horizon's fun.
How's the voice acting and music?
The music, I don't really. I mean, my thing with
I
music for the
know.
most part.
I know.
Like good music, I usually don't notice. Bad music, I do. So like, the soundtrack is definitely probably it's got to be fine because I did not notice it being bad.
Okay.
The voice acting is good. I would actually say. I think the story and the whole prologue sequence, like it's really story heavy in the beginning, maybe a little too story heavy, but it's all performed really well. It's written pretty good. I think the main character is sympathetic. I think they do a weird thing where they add in like whenever there's like every so often you have dialogue options where you can be like you can either be intelligent with your response. It's kind of the Mass Effect thing. You can be intelligent, charming, or like aggressive. And they even put symbols down like a brain, a heart, and like a fist.
Okay.
And they don't seem to have any effect. Like if you pick the fist option, you don't end up in fights that you wouldn't have fought anyway.
Well,
It
I
doesn't
think
affect the game at all.
I think there are a few things you can do to choose whether like they affect whether certain people live or die, I believe.
If that's true, it is not affected me.
But I don't think it's like a long tree. I think it's like it happens like within 1 or 2 choices, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, in the hours I've played it, I've probably encountered like 7 of those choices, and every time all that's happened is I threw a rock at a kid's face once.
Oh, nice.
Fuck that kid. I mean, none of it really seemed to matter. It was just kind of like, I guess, your way of making your own character, which a lot of games are doing
which
now.
do you
Like
prefer?
Uncharted did that, I think, right? Didn't Uncharted 4 have like weird dialogue options? where you could
Uncharted
pick what he
4 had
says?
some dialogue options to where it's more like how would you see Drake interacting with his brother after they haven't seen each other for a while? Like
Right.
like the main one was like, what story do you want to tell him about first? Of all
Right.
after everything you've been through, like what do you think you would tell him first or something like
Right.
that?
But I mean, the same kind of thing. Like that seemed like relatively, as far as the game goes, that was pretty inconsequential, right?
Yes, it was very much. It did not matter. It was a wink at you as the player, as someone who's
Right.
played all 4 of these games.
That you know about this thing. that
You
happened
know
in the
about that
previous
thing.
game.
Yeah, it didn't affect the story in the end whatsoever. Oh, which do
Yeah,
you
I mean-
prefer? What do you prefer your choices to affect the end of the game, or do you prefer them having a straight narrative where you get to make tiny little things that affect the narrative within a tiny bubble?
No, if they're going to give me options, I think it should matter. I don't like these options
Right.
for option's sake thing. Like, I don't. If they want to tell me a story, that's totally fine. Like, I'm totally for that. If they have like a really clever, fun story they want to tell, or touching story, or whatever, I'll just watch it. Like, I'll play it and I'll see the cutscenes unfold however they're going to unfold. If they're going to give me options to say things or like pick a like dialogue tree thing,
Mm-hmm.
then I think it should have some kind of consequence, like something. Like if
So
it's
you,
just
like,
there,
you're the polar ends on those, basically.
yeah,
you want,
like, I
you
love
want it to be completely one way or completely the other.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
in between seems pointless. Like it's just taking up time, and it's just them like saying, we wrote 3 lines here, and we didn't know which one to pick, so
Gotcha.
you pick one, and that's all that changes is what the person says in that line. So I mean, anyways, that's not really a gripe. I mean, if I had a gripe about the game so far, Oof, I don't know. I mean, it's honestly my only gripe is that it feels it's not really a gripe. It feels formula. Like it feels like a formula. Like
Hits those
the
tropes.
Assassin's Creed, Far Cry.
Oh,
Like,
okay, okay.
you go to an area, you climb the thing, you unveil the map, you go to the icons, you do the activities. You know, you level up your character, you move on with the story. Like, and there, I don't like. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's that. Be ready
Okay.
for that. And that, for some people, like I like the map opening up. Like with Zelda, I enjoyed that. With this game, I enjoy that. Watching the map, come into view where you can see everything and you realize all the stuff. Like with this game, it unveils all the icons, so you see all the shit that you missed. Like, oh Jesus.
Okay.
So you can go back and do that. The activities are fun. Like there's these like trials, which I think are kind of annoying because I'm trying to be completionist with them, and they have three. They're the kind of like bronze, silver, gold thing. Like you do it, and then you have to like clear certain timings to get the gold. And that's
okay.
that's how you get credit for it. Like an example is you have to kill enemies a certain way, and it starts like an almost like an arena. Like it'll be like,
point
okay,
system.
it's a point system. Yeah, like kill 10 of these enemies using just traps, and
Okay.
they'll give you 2 minutes, and you'll go and you'll do it in like a minute 45, and they'll be like, oh, good job, you get the silver. And you're like, I didn't even know this was like, pretty quick this is how it works, but you're like, oh, okay.
Are there any
And then
escort
once you
missions?
once you do it once, it's like, this is what you need for gold. This is the time you need for gold. Time for silver. Time for bronze. What
Well,
did
are there any escort missions like that?
There have not been yet. These have all
Okay.
been like like it's literally like trials of strength. It's like some like old warriors like, I will test you. Can you
Okay.
can you do this? And if you do it, they're like, here you go. Here's a chest. Which they make a mistake because they give you these chests, and it's literally like a tab in your inventory where you just go to it and you open the chest in your inventory menu, and it's like, hey, a bunch of shit came out. I think it was a missed opportunity to like have the guy be like, go get your chest, like, because I don't know, chest opening animations are really fun.
I mean, yeah. But it's not really until recently that it's become a thing.
Wasn't Borderlands like a big deal? I mean,
yeah. I mean, that's kind of the start of it, really.
Yeah. I just feel
that's
like
still relatively recent in terms of like getting popular.
Hey, I don't think there's anything wrong with this game. It's just if they would have had me there, I could have made it better.
So you want to talk about popular chest opening animations? Ocarina of Time's got some pretty good ones.
Oh yeah, Zelda. I mean, Zelda in general, right?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it feels good. You remember the noise and all that? Like it sticks with you.
And then they fake you out and give you some fake ones, and you're like, "Fuck you, Shigeru Miyamoto. I know where you live."
Well, before we get too far in here, I do want to follow up with you on the E3 stuff.
Oh, sure.
So on last month's episode, we each went and gave our most anticipated or exciting thing from E3, our most disappointing moment from E3, and maybe our weirdest moment that we saw from E3. So since you're back, let's just go through it. Paul, what was your most exciting moment of E3 2017?
Most exciting moment?
Or like most anticipated thing from E3.
Most anticipated game?
That thing, yeah.
Okay. Well, the game I'm most likely going to I'm going to play a few of the games. I didn't think anything was really I thought this year was kind of weak for
Rabbids.
Yeah, Mario plus Rabbids. I'm going to play that. Like there's a bunch of games I'm like, I'm going to buy that. But I didn't get I'm not super jazzed, but I would say probably this is going to be weird, but
Anthem.
No, that's too far out for it to matter. That'll be my most anticipated E3 2019.
2019, yeah, totally.
Yeah. But no, Battlefront 2 actually. This is
oh my god, I forget about that all the time.
Yeah, that's the game I look at and I'm like, that looks the best. Like, I've always.
It does look really good.
Oh, it looks gorgeous. Like, it looks so good.
I'm gonna play this one.
Me too. Me too.
You're gonna play this Battlefront 2?
Yeah. Is that the subtitle?
I mean, it is the second Battlefront 2.
That's true.
This is true.
Oh my god. Okay, so Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2 is the game I think looks like the most exciting game that's coming out later this year.
What's the release date on that? Is that the end of the year or is that sooner than that?
Oh, it's probably October. I don't know when my most anticipated game's coming out, but I think it's
November
somewhere around-
17th,
There you go.
2017.
It is November. Got it.
Got it
All
in
right.
1.5.
Nice. All right, so Paul, most disappointing moment of E3.
Okay. Can I just say the Nintendo press conference?
It's not a press conference.
It's not a
but
press
yeah.
conference.
The Nintendo
Direct?
everything they did. Yeah.
Everything that's it. Now, is this only because they didn't announce an Animal Crossing game?
They didn't do anything I wanted.
They showed Mario taking over a human's life.
Yeah.
Well, that was fucked. I mean, that was amazing and in fact, I know what your next question is going to be too. In this little round, this thing that you're doing, and I want to pick that, but you guys already picked it.
We already picked that, but I mean,
So,
whatever. But what specifically about Nintendo? Like, I'm really curious. I mean, I know you're disappointed by Animal Crossing. I'm sure.
Right. So the two things that I get salty about specifically that they did do, like it's if we're gonna list all the things they didn't do that made me mad, I'll be here all night. But the things they did do that made me angry is they announced a Pokemon Switch game by going, "There's gonna be a Pokemon Switch game."
Yeah.
And they're like, and back to you, Reggie. Like, that was completely... Just don't even fucking do it. Just don't even do it. That makes me so mad. They didn't even commit to a title.
No.
Completely agreed.
Well, don't you think they only did that because of all the backlash from the 3DS remakes?
Yeah, but that doesn't make it... Honestly, that makes it worse, because that means they're being cowards about it. Like,
I think they did it... I think they did it for two reasons. And I could be wrong.
Okay, reason one.
Shit out.
Okay, reason one... I think they're just trying. I think they're trying to keep this incredible high on people staying excited for Switch stuff.
Okay. Reason two.
I think they're tired of people asking for a console Pokemon game. So now that they got that out there, they can say, yes, there is one coming.
The 20th year was the year that broke their back, and they're like, fine. We have one coming. Because, I mean, Pokemon's been around since, like, 97, right?
Right. 97 97 was the U.S. release. So I think 96 was the green and red
So it's been 20 years, and this is the year they said, okay, fine, we're just going to announce a Switch version. We're going to announce a console version, so you quit asking about it.
Well, I think they got a new surge of people asking because this is a portable + console. So,
well, they actually finally had something to say about it too.
And plus, I don't.
Because in the past, the answer has always been no. We're not working on.
Plus, I think a lot of people were not very happy with Sun and Moon. So.
And then Sun and Moon remakes.
And Sun and Moon, I think they saw that and wanted to do something to get people excited about Pokemon again, besides Pokemon Go.
What I really fear, though, is that they haven't really done anything yet. They realized they messed up and knew they had to say something just to keep people off their backs, but I don't think anything's even in development yet.
Oh, honestly, it's in development, I'm sure. It's just it's so early, they don't have anything. Doubt. You're going to say that they've started development on it?
I really don't think they have. I think if there's any development towards it, I would imagine it's a 3DS game that they started on, and they're like, we have to switch this and make it come out for the Switch.
Well, Seth, development starts when they get around and start doing ideas. That's the beginning of development.
Well, that's pre-production. What do you mean? I mean, when you say development, I guess pre-production would be part of that.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that at Nintendo, people sit around and just go, we got to switch this when looking at Wii U games?
There's probably a guy.
Like, that's their catchphrase.
That says that all the time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, because they want to
switch this.
They have these games that they only sold 20 copies of, and they could just turn them over and try and get a few more bucks out of them.
They should, too, because there's a ton of Wii U games.
Totally.
Well, yeah, you got to play that Splatoon 2.
Ooh.
No.
Splatoon, as I call it.
No thanks.
Anyway.
All right, Paul, weirdest moment of E3.
I wasn't done being disappointed yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The Metroid announcement was disappointing for the same reasons.
Which one?
But
well,
I've never pegged you as a Metroid fan.
No, it's their corporate strategy that's disappointing me right now. The fact that they're doing.
So you were just upset that they made the announcement without it being.
Just that they're just so full of their own shit, and the fact that people aren't calling them on it pisses me off too. But whatever.
There are people that are, but the Nintendo fanboys are louder than they are.
Right.
So
They need to be called on it. Nintendo gets to pass all the time for shit.
I mean, I was excited about it just because the only reason being is because it feels like Metroid's been dead for so long.
Right, and they confirm that something's coming. I mean,
Yes,
that one I'm less upset
100%. That's the only thing I'm excited because of. I am still disappointed that they've announced it so early. Don't get me wrong. But it's made me incredibly happy to know that they actually are going to make one again.
I think that's what it boils down to. I think we talked about it a little bit last month. I mean, these companies have got to stop teasing so far in advance. It's getting to where it's just upsetting people more than it is.
But then they'll lose E3. They can't afford to lose E3.
They'll lose a lot of stuff. Like they'll use everything yearly because games take more than a year to make. I mean,
I don't know. They all do it. Sony did it with a lot of their shit.
Bethesda didn't.
No.
Not this year.
No. Did someone put Bethesda's most disappointing?
I think
I didn't listen to the podcast.
Seth did, kinda. Yeah.
I didn't have a chance to yet. I've been in Alaska.
Nice loyalties.
I've been in
Alaska's nothing but podcast time, Paul. I've seen those fields.
Oh dear Lord.
Weirdest thing was the moment when Shigeru Miyamoto showed up in the Ubisoft press conference
with the gun
to stand Charlie's Angels style back to back or whatever with the CEO of.
Was it cringeworthy?
Oof. It was uncomfortable.
Did it also make you cry?
It was not as bad as you're making it out to be.
I just think anytime Shigeru Miyamoto does anything that's like, because he's adorable, but
have you seen the video he did with Mega 64 years ago? I think it was about New Super Mario Brothers. He did a Mario video with them.
I don't know. I hope he's as self-aware as he seems.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
He's Japanese, of course he is.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean nothing was really weird, but the Mario Odyssey stuff was the weirdest fucking thing
creepy.
I've ever seen in my life. If
there was a creepy category, there's nothing else that even comes close.
It's Sonic. This is how Sonic fell, dating humans. Like, is Mario
He's not dating them. He's doing the exact opposite of dating them.
Whoa.
No, Sonic. No, I know he's not.
Mario forces himself into these humans and then discards them when he's done.
Yeah, discards them.
Yeah, it's the opposite of dating.
Do you think you can do the thing that you can do the Yoshi thing where you just send them to their death? Like, can you jump off and jump out of people as you jump off cliffs? So you just send a bunch of people to their
New
death?
Dunk City got its name from Mario dunking humans down the well.
Have y'all seen the new clip from Mario Odyssey? Mario walks out and it sits on a bench next to some lonely guy.
No.
And sits there and talks to him for a few minutes. It's a human person.
Yes.
Sits there and talks to him for a few minutes and earns a moon or something like that.
You can get one of the moon fragments because it's you sit on this bench next to the dude and he goes, I can tell you're not from around here because you sat down next to me and no one here would sit next to anyone on a bench.
Right.
And then you get a moon fragment for making a real human connection or something.
What?
It just feels super uncomfortable.
The game's going to be so good.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be so good.
As long as they get rid of that motion crap, like
they're not going to.
Because they haven't said whether or not you can do it without motion. They're being very, very
cagey.
coy. Yeah. I don't know. I hope you don't have to fucking throw your pro remote every time you want to throw your hat. That would get real old real fast.
Shake the switch to get Mario's soul out of the human.
God. That's the thing. Like, it would be okay if it wouldn't be. I wouldn't like it, but it would. The biggest problem is you put this in handheld mode and you're shaking the entire console doing this. That's ridiculous.
They really need to consider that.
Yeah,
because
like all of my personal complaints about motion aside, like that's a real problem in general.
I had that problem when I was playing Zelda on some of the some of the motion-based puzzles and stuff. Like
like 2
or 3 of them
spinning the whole Switch around probably. And
I totally was.
Yeah,
it was super awkward because I played most of my Switch time portable. So
couldn't you just use a kickstand on the Switch and wiggle your Joy-Cons?
I could.
You could, but like you shouldn't have to. Like,
it was just. I mean, in Zelda, it was like one of the random shrines, In this game, it'll be all the time, so it's
Right.
a little
bit different.
Inconvenience.
It's a little different, but still not good either way.
Right, no bad.
All right, well, we're caught up on E3 then.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we finish up our discussion on Final Fantasy 14? We brought Seth back in to finish that train wreck of a conversation. Now that we've stripped the new game high away.
We've stripped the bottom of the Final Fantasy 14 mines and have returned with our ill-gotten gain.
Right.
Dragoon is king.
You brought me back because all of our listeners demanded it.
That's right. All of our tens, there's dozens of them. Maybe.
I'm not only a special guest host, I'm also your only listener.
So yeah, now that we've kind of gotten away from the honeymoon phase of the new expansion, some of the problems really started to...
Game is bad now.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's not bad.
I know.
But
It's dab.
It's dab.
Game
Dab
is dab now.
Dab is good.
Oh, I gotta go buy that.
There's the good things I said about story, quests,
All that's still there.
general expansion, still there, still great. The jobs, quite a few of them need to. A lot of them are vomit, right? Well, let me say a lot of them were vomit. Previous podcast, they have made a lot of fixes.
I wouldn't say
Jimmy,
lot.
The warrior fixes were enormous. The black mage fixes jumped black mage's DPS like 1,500 DPS. I mean, it was pretty big. Some of the adjustments were huge, and for them to be able to fix that much in one go was kind of big for Square Enix. Normally, man, in 2.0, Monk got a new patch every month because they just couldn't get it right.
Well, it was the same with Astro.
Right. It
Astro
took a while.
was broken and it's not good in the beginning of Heavensward. But
so I know Dragoon was in a very bad spot. How is it now, potency wise?
Nothing has changed. They have those potency increases, but that's not what's wrong with Dragoon. It's
a little easier to keep your buff.
Really, you think so?
Well, it's easier to keep it, but it still has the problem of there's no reason to even care because who gives a shit about Nostrand? Keeping just Blood of the Dragon up, it's way simpler because you have the two.
That was never that hard.
No, only in the endgame fights where they have 40-second fucking transitions for whatever reason.
Right.
But with it now giving you 20 seconds. And with there now being a no shit, I need a 2-hit combo to extend my gauge. That stuff is fine, but it still suffers from the problem of there's no reason to worry about eyes because aside from an incredibly minor DPS increase, Nostrand doesn't do anything for me outside of an AOE situation.
They have a lot of design issues right now. There's the whole Nostrand thing. There's the fact that in Stormblood, they got another ability that adds another fucking motion lock or whatever. What's the word for that?
Animation lock?
Animation lock.
It's
the only job that has all that. Well, no, they only reduced it on one of the jumps. That's it.
Yeah, the Mirage jump. That's the one.
Mirage jump, and it was already pretty instant being able to move when you jumped on that one beforehand.
Well, that was the new ability
when they reduced it on the Mirage jump. The animation locks
I was thinking Spine Shatter, sorry.
To be a key part of the Dragoon class. That's why they're there. And that's not fair. But Square Enix knows they're there and wants them there for a reason. And it's just...
I don't know why they're so hell-bent on keeping the Dragoon the way they've designed it there. It's clearly not good. Nobody's defending it. Except for just blind zealot fanboys of Final Fantasy 14. No real Dragoons are defending this stupid design change at all. It's really dumb. Yeah, some parts of it could be a little more fun because you're doing more abilities, but there's no reward for anything you're doing there. And the way they've built their game in terms of, final fights and such, there's lots of areas where this rotation getting up to, Life of the Dragon just is never going to work no matter what they do to it. So I'd be okay if they would just admit that they fucked up.
Well,
Like,
did you
even
see
even if
where-
even if it takes them a long time to fix it, at least just fucking admit that it's not good. Like,
when they reduced the animation lock on Mirage Dive, I want to say it was a quote from Yoshi P or somebody that was like, "Oh, we didn't realize that this animation was so bad that it caused problems with the rotation, so we're reducing it."
wow.
Like, how do you not? I mean, I guess it could be worse. Like,
You're using it
Ninja,
all the time. Like, how
like-
can you not know?
Ninja had a lot of stuff changed on it because the rotation people were doing was not something that they even considered as a rotation while they were developing Stormblood.
And they punished them for it. Like, that was so
Yeah.
bullshit. Like, they've clearly made it known that, like, they want us to play the game a certain way, and they really are putting a clamp on creativity. It seems like. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the stuff they've been doing in that regard. But
Some of the stuff I was worried about with how Dragoon was going to play came a little true, I think, before those changes.
Mhm.
Because there were definitely people that were like, no, you got to hold on to this 15-second ability for a little
Right.
longer here to get through this part of the fight and that stuff.
and that's just not fun.
It's like, oh boy, that's not what I want to do at all.
Yeah. Dragoon was a little bit like that in 2.0. And I just refused to do it because it was not fun. Yeah, DPS suffered, but it was doing good enough. Like, and I'd rather have fun than, try and squeeze out a little more damage here.
Red Mage and Samurai are very strong.
Yes, they are incredibly strong. Red Mage is so strong, like, they can fuck up half the fight and still stay top DPS. Like,
They can raise the whole fight.
they can, well, yeah, but
Ask Seth.
yeah.
Well, I mean, Red Mage is good. Don't get me wrong, but if Samurai's doing their job, if a Black Mage is doing their job, Ninja, Monk, any of those, a Red Mage has no room to fuck up.
In a perfect
no room
world,
to
yes.
raise.
But how often do things happen perfectly?
How
I
often
mean,
are you
that's-
playing
I
with
mean-
samurais that are doing a good job? You complain about samurais not doing well.
Yeah, but the content that it matters is the in-game raid content, and that's where the DPS is really the only time that it's that important as to how much each person is doing. And that's the only times that it's... I mean, I'm normally second as Red Mage, but
Under who?
Bard, like, if any of us mess up, the other tops the other. Like, if I dual cast a single raise, the Bard takes over, the Ninja takes over. They take that spot real quick. But it's not like it's some huge gap. They're actually pretty well balanced as far as the top tier DPS go right now.
Okay. What about Samurai? Or is Samurai always on top? pretty much?
Samurai is always on top. So much so, it's normally about 600 to 800 DPS in a normal setting. So much so that, I mean, Samurais can mess up and they're going to stay on top as long as it's just like one mess up. Depending on where they die in the fight, they can die, get raised, get back up, and still have top position. The Samurais are putting out a lot of damage.
You think they'll nerf it?
No, they won't touch it.
I don't think they will either.
Samurai and Red Mage will not get touched. That's coming straight out of the producer's mouth. They like where the jobs are. They are not going to get adjusted in any way. Which doesn't surprise me on Samurai, slightly surprises me on Red Mage because of its utility.
I'm surprised by how easy they've made Red Mage to play. It's super easy.
It can be like it can be. It's easy to do good DPS on Red Mage.
Right.
To do maximum DPS, it gets a little more difficult. You have to throw in a lot
I'm
more
sure.
of your global cooldown management and stuff like that, off global cooldown management. But as far as if you're comparing it to Black Mage or something, it's so much easier to play than Black Mage or Summoner.
Even Black Mage has a very simple rotation, though. The hard part about Black Mage is figuring out when you can actually, stick your foot in the ground for a while. Like,
Yeah.
But I don't
And
know,
it's also a matter of common sense too. I mean, for somebody who plays the game regularly, the aspect of Red Mage keep your black and white mana equal as you're doing your spells, that's simple for us. But there are people that just cannot grasp the concept. They'll get their black mana 60, 70 points ahead of their white mana, not realizing what they're doing, and then their DPS just falls to shit really fast.
My favorite bad red mage are the ones that are like, remember guys, red mages are healers too.
Oh.
So if you see your red mage healing or raising people, don't get upset with them. They're just doing what they're supposed to.
No.
But remember, red mages, we are also a damage class, so make sure you're casting just as many damage spells as you are heal spells.
Yeah, that's not the...
Those are the bad red mages.
Oh, that's rough. I haven't run into that.
You should never heal somebody else on Red Mage. That's not your job. Every now and then, during certain mechanics for raiding,
It can be
I will
clutch.
cure myself.
It can
simply,
be clutch.
but so that I don't have to rely on another healer to do it. Especially if I can't target the boss. If I can't target the boss, I'm going to throw cures on myself for mechanics just to make sure I don't die. I mean, there's no point in not. And as far as raising goes, once a fight gets past the progression stage, a red mage shouldn't raise anymore. That's the healer's job. During progression, a red mage is so much help. Like the extra you can make the fights go on and get to the enrages and see every mechanic, because the red mage is there and can swift cast raise so many people. It's stupid. That's nice, but dude, once we get a fight on farm, that's on the healers.
Yeah. How is the rating? Is it good?
I really like. I mean, O1S was super easy. It's the exact same as normal without walls.
And you're talking about Omega Savage.
Right. Omega Savage 1 is super easy fight. Omega Savage 2 is, I mean, it's fairly simple once you actually pay attention and know what the mechanics are. They're very similar to normal, just a lot less forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game gets stepped up when you get to 3, which is what we're currently progressing on. And I'm enjoying them. I like them much better than some of the Alexander raids.
I watched the fight, the angered fights for the Angered Guild do 3 and 4, and it was nuts.
It was crazy. But a lot of people are freaking out, say, oh, that just means they made it too easy. No, it's just the people that were doing it are really good. They've seen... I mean, it's true. Square Enix only has access to so many mechanics. And we've seen almost all of them. Some way, shape, or form. So they just add them in different parts of the fight, and you have to adapt to them there. But people that are on that tier rating, if they've seen a mechanic once, it's game over. I mean, that's it.
What was the time? It was less than 24 hours.
Yes, it was like 14 hours.
14 hours, yeah, something like that.
And what really surprised people is there really wasn't a gear check in this one. That's what people don't understand. The last time a raid tier took like a week to clear, it wasn't because of skill or ability to clear it. It was a gear check. People there was nothing they could do to get the HP and DPS they needed from the current gear that week to clear it.
Which I think is a fantastic change.
Right. The gear should never hold you back.
Yes.
If it says item level 320 is what you need to enter, you should be able to clear it at item level 320.
100%.
That seems to be how it works on this tier, which I like. I mean, I'm glad that they've done that. I'm ready to get into 04. It looks like a really fun fight.
How close are you guys to beating the third one?
We're in the late phases of library phase, so
well,
we have
I don't know what that means.
Really,
what percentage health are you
I know.
getting
I
down
was about to explain. like 50%, 60%,
Okay.
something like that. But the library phase is where it gets really difficult. And once you get past it, you go into the final tile phase. And
What kind of phrase was that?
I mean,
Yeah, what did you have to read the book in the
phase.
library to get the phrase? Or just messing with you, Seth?
I know. But 3 is really fun. I liked 3 normal. Completely took the sand thing out of it.
Yeah, it was
which-
weird.
Wait, that's
That's
not
what I
in
was
three?
going. No,
Yeah, the sand
that's
part
not in
is
Savage.
not in the Savage fight.
So for those who
favorite
don't
part.
know, in the normal version of this fight, you have to do a sand puzzle where you slide around.
And
Right.
it's the same one. It's the same way every time, which is really disappointing. But
Right.
yeah,
Well,
they completely took it out instead of making it more difficult, which I thought was really, really weird.
Well, that's what I was going to get back to when y'all were talking about y'all's Dragoon earlier and how annoying Nastron and this thing like that. Nothing in the Savage tier that I've noticed. You don't have the mobs warping away from you. You don't have. There's never downtime for your DPS. You're fighting the whole time. The problems you have with like Susano EX and things like that, Dragoons aren't really having that issue that I've noticed personally. Because you don't have those. Oh, the boss is going to go away and make you run around in circles for a few minutes or wait for dive bombs, or we really haven't run into any of that. And I mean, I haven't got to 4
Well,
yet.
we have
but-
in the extreme primals.
Right. But man, these extreme primals weren't a good judge. But the level that they are is bad.
I thought they were. What we've done so far, I thought they were fun fights.
fun
Yeah, but
fights,
normally-
yes,
aren't
but
they normally like a prerequisite to doing the
right. That's what
Savage?
these first 2 were. I would imagine.
I don't know. I don't know if that's how they look at them. I think they looked at them as a totally separate piece of content.
This
I don't.
next
They don't think they
extreme
look at it as
primal-
like a chain. Like you do this, then this, then this. I think they see Final Fantasy 14 as a tree, and they have different branches of content to do. I don't
Yeah.
think they. I
That's
don't think
a
they
good
see
way
it
of
like
looking at
that.
it.
I don't think they see it as like, okay, you have your 24-man raid, and once you're good enough to do that, you can do the extreme primals, and once you're good enough to do that, then you can do the raid. I just think they looked at them as totally separate pieces, because the difficulty thing isn't there. Like the extreme primals have never been like just below the hard mode raids.
I would put money that the next primal is going to be a lot harder than Susano or Lakshmi. I mean,
Maybe.
I think from just listening to how they've talked in different email interviews and things like that, they realize that they have kind of made it a little too easy.
Well, aren't
Like
they making
Zervon.
a harder version of them, or no?
No,
No,
it's something
extreme
else.
will be max. And
But can't you also look at it like this as just this is just the first 2 primals? I mean,
right,
Ravana and the whale thing,
we're
I would
easy.
say we're very similar in
Leviathan.
difficulty.
The way.
a Bismarck.
Oh, Bismarck.
Yeah, Bismarck
right.
the whale.
Yes, I think they're as easy as they are simply because they're early patch primal.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see an increased difficulty level when we get Shinryu
I think
in
that's
4.1
100% what it
and
is. They keep the
so
keep the
forth.
early ones kind of easier, especially because gear's low at that point too. Because people going into it are not going to be as good geared as you could be. So leave the difficulty in the first 2 that come right with the expansion a little lower than the ones that come later. Anyone have anything else to say about 14 before we move on?
I'm having the best time of my life playing that game. Playing the auction house game.
Yeah, you making a lot of money.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
You just did.
What?
only if you
What-
come back and play.
What the hell are we talking about?
What do you mean?
I haven't been following. What's a red mage?
That's because you're playing Civilization 6.
That's not happening.
Mhm.
No, don't believe
Uh-huh.
it.
Uh-huh.
John's playing 7 Days to Die.
John is not in the podcast.
A red mage is like
And
a
that is
black
spoilers.
mage,
No one knows where John is.
but
but
easier
Hi,
to play it
John.
better.
Everyone knows
red.
John.
Yeah, Paul
Hopefully-
Black. Red Mage is like one of the strongest jobs in the game. You should come
It
and
is.
play it.
Our hope is that the next expansion introduces the blue mage, so you can have
No,
a party that's
nobody
just the red,
hopes
white,
that.
and blue
And
mage.
Beastmaster.
No.
And Beastmaster.
No, neither one of those jobs.
Yes.
And then you can put a black mage in there too. You can have a red, white, blue, and black mage, and you'll be
Puppet
all mage
Master,
party.
Dancer are going to be the next 2 jobs.
Those aren't real jobs, Jimmy.
Yeah, they are.
The only Final Fantasy jobs are fighter, thief, tank, goblin,
Tank job?
grim, Vivi,
Dear Lord.
blocker for the underwater ball game,
Pikachu.
Uh-huh.
and Sephiroth. So,
Right.
And Sephiroth. What kind of player is Sephiroth? Is he
he's a
tank?
samurai.
Is a samurai? Okay.
Yeah, he does high deeps.
So he's a double job. He's the Sephiroth job, but also samurai. Okay. How does that work?
Oh, in his game or in 14?
In 14, how does that
Oh,
work?
in 14, they're not going to do it. He's just going to be an
Okay.
NPC.
Got
But in his game, it works really easily because at one point he's a Sephiroth,
Uh-huh.
and then whenever he hears music, he pulls out his katana and he knows that he's ready for battle.
Okay.
And you see a little shine go down his blade, and he stabs Eris to death.
Oh.
But then you use an action replay to bring her back, and it's fine.
Yeah, bring her back.
Yeah, back to the past.
Oh God.
Samurai Jack.
The only thing I really wanted to say about the game before we moved on was I'm a little disappointed that they kind of use the same formula again this time around. Like it just feels like another point patch with more content.
Yeah, I mean it's
Like-
copy paste. Like it's so bad that people are telling they haven't released what's coming in 4.1, and
But we
people
know.
who follow the game are telling people what's coming in 4.1.
Right.
We're getting extreme Shinryu. Like we know what's coming. They're
Without-
so
yeah, it's-
copy and paste that
Yep.
it is kind of bad in that aspect. But I was going to ask y'all, how did y'all feel about the extra things that are in the game right now? I know we did maps and did the Lost Palace, Undersea Ruins of Uznair, or whatever it's called, Lost Palace of Uznair.
Oh yeah.
canals.
I mean that was fun. Like the night we did it. I don't know if I'd want to spend like
Okay, so
2
I don't know
weeks doing that. Like,
How much legs that has.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I mean, we got super lucky that first night.
we got
though.
super lucky because Paul is infinitely wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So we could just follow his guidance the other way. But
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing. I don't even know what happened. It sounded good.
Well, so it's just little dungeon content that you do a sunken map treasure thing, and sometimes when you open one, a portal will open and take you to this different area, and you fight mobs, and you're given 2 choices on doors, left or right, and it does 8 rooms, or is it 7?
7 rooms.
7 rooms. And there's a right and a wrong answer each time. If you get the wrong answer, dungeon's over, you get kicked out. Well, we seeked the advice of Paul, and we chose the opposite of what he told us every time.
God, the day was so amazing.
And he was 100% correct, being wrong
You're
every
welcome.
time.
Even
so-
when he tried to fudge the system.
Even when he tried
tried
to
to-
fuck us, it's
I
still-
never tried. I always had your
You
best
did.
interest. at
Uh-huh.
heart.
Sure.
Always had your best interest.
But
at
we
heart.
made it. We made it all the way to the end and got the last rewards. Fought the boss,
Amazing.
which was really cool and a
It
lot
was
of
a
fun.
cool lion, and
But how
Jason
many times...
made 1,000 million money, and then just used it to make more and more money, cheaper clothes and stuff. And
That's right. Yep.
I do feel like something like that. It's like once you get to the bottom, you've been there. Yay,
Right.
we did it.
Like, yeah, we could go and farm some stuff, but in terms of like it being a lot of fun anymore, like,
It would be
yeah, maybe a
repetitive at
couple,
this
maybe
point.
a few more times, but not, repeating
maybe they
it.
changed it so you get to floor 7, and then you can get a house down there.
Oh,
That's the only new
nice.
player housing in the game.
that
is
room
the-
of gold.
yeah,
Only
is that
people that
gold
get
room.
to 7. Nice.
Mhm.
That would be funny. It's a shame. And
But
I know
think I
their
would rather do
philosophy.
PvP than Aquapolis.
I'm
I don't
hoping
know.
they have more content similar to this.
Yeah,
More
that'd be cool.
things
It would be nice,
that people
yeah.
can branch out and do. Because that's what it's going to take to keep people playing.
We'll see
And
what
it
happens.
can't be blitzball. Square Enix, if one of your people is listening to this, it's a bad idea. Stop listening to
It's
these
coming.
fanboys.
It's coming.
It's a bad idea.
It's gonna be bad.
Make it like Lords of Vermilion.
I'll tell you, as many people are going
It
to
might
play it
be.
as are playing Lords of Vermilion right now. Go ahead and go in
Verminion.
your Vermilion. Go check in your
Verminion.
whatever. I don't care. Go
Wait,
check
is it?
in your.
Hold on. Is it actually Verminion?
I think it's Vermilion.
I thought it was Verminion because you're using minions.
I thought it was Vermilion, like Vermilion Cloak from.
It is Verminion. I'm in game
Oh.
now looking at it.
Is it Verminion? That's what I was right.
So
Yes,
wait,
you
does that
were
mean only red mages can play
Oh, God.
because they love their verse?
It's a Red Mage exclusive content. Oh shit. Yeah, but same formula. 4 years in.
Nope.
Or no, well, technically, well, no, since 2.0, we'll say because it's a different game.
Farm
Yeah.
your weekly currency. Farm your current primal. Get your current weapon. Farm your weekly gear.
It's getting
literally cut
it's
and
getting
paste.
really old, and I don't want to stop playing, but it's really hard to get motivated to get on and do that stuff.
I don't know how people who don't raid continue to play. I'm being 100% honest
Told you,
because there's
I'm
nothing
playing
in
the
the
auction
game.
house. It's about all I get to do.
So I was doing it. My drive after we did the Susano and stuff was like, oh, well, I'll use this time to level White Mage. That'll be fun. And then I kind of hit a wall there where that stopped being as fun or was as quick. And I was like, oh, well, I'll level Alchemist so I can finally do something with these faded scrolls. And then I realized that crafting in this game is the fucking insane asylum of
Ugh,
55
rough.
abilities, and you need to level every crafter to 50 if you want to have any hope of doing anything. And
Yep.
I was like, actually, I'm just gonna go play other things. And then I haven't launched the game for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. And if they don't do something about that, I'm hoping when the 24-man raid comes out, that'll help. But
I'm definitely gonna come. I'm gonna try at least, even if I fall off, to come back for every major patch.
yeah,
This time around, I didn't do that with Heaven's Sword, but there was a lot of different reasons for that.
that's
You hated the elves.
But
yeah, I'm hoping for better this time. But plain and simple, it's gonna come back to if you're not raiding, you're gonna get on and farm 24-man raid once a week and get your piece of gear.
well, even
Right.
if you're raiding, raids only come every 6 months.
Right. And
So what do you do when you beat 4? I mean, you farm it for 6 months to get or not 6 months. You farm it for 6 weeks, get everyone their gear, and you're done. Like,
Mhm.
I did that last thing. I got old fast.
what is there to do? Like, there's no.
Well-
They're really dry on actual fun content. That's not a vertical progression. Like, there's no horizontal progression in this game at all. That's just fun content.
yeah, they've got to get something on the lines of Diadem and things like that, where they've had decent ideas. They didn't. What word
Just
am I
didn't
looking
pan
for?
out. Like, yeah,
Right. They didn't do what they needed it to do.
yes, but
It's like they drew on a board and had this great idea drawn up, and somebody was like, fuck it, let's just go with this. Finish your drawing next year sometimes.
Well, I know
Okay.
for a fact also that they don't really care about that right now, because someone actually asked USGP in an interview in the past a couple months or so, asked them about that, horizontal progression, keeping people in the game. He said, our look on the game is to go play something else until we bring in something new.
Yeah, that people have a limited amount of time, especially as they get older, and that there's no harm in when you have nothing else that you want to do in the game to unsubscribe for a while and to come back later.
Yep, that's their outlook on it.
And I mean,
That's really
I can
weird. It's
understand
shitty.
it's
I get it.
shitty in a
And
way,
it's fine, but
but it's their way of putting more focus on the content for when they're wanting people to play instead of spreading their focus too thin and then making the things that people are really wanting, like the raid content, being worse than it is, just so somebody has some stupid in-game not in-game content, stupid, just normal content that they can do. And I mean, I agree in a way.
The shitty part of that is you're pandering to like the 5% of players in your game.
Yeah.
With that, instead of the majority, where there are a lot of people there that would like to just stay and keep playing, but they don't have anything to do because they're working on the raids for the 500 people in the game that are doing that.
But that's what MMOs have turned into.
I mean, at this point, if you're not raiding, it feels like the only thing to do is to go stand outside somebody's house in the housing area and shout, "Please sell."
Yeah. I mean, you played WoW, didn't you, Link? What did you do if you weren't raiding? Nothing.
That's yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. If you weren't raiding, you were leveling alts, you were doing your dailies, which is basically the currency stuff. But once you it was a similar situation. Once you gotten your gear to the best place you could reasonably get it, whether that was through raiding or through PvP or through vendors or whatever, you basically unsubscribed for a couple months and waited for the next patch. And they've tried to change that with Legion especially. Every time they patch anything into the new expansion, they're like, we're going to have a 12-week long story quest. But then they don't tell you that just means you're going to get one quest a week for 12 weeks. Because they just time-gated everything to try to stall it out so you have stuff to do. Which just means, again, you just unsub earlier, then come back at the end of the patch instead of the beginning of the patch.
Right. And I mean, once you get done there, what do? Fly to the top of the town and jump off your mountain, see how far you fall?
You do that. If you're on the PvP server, you go and attack guards or be an asshole to low-level characters, or you shout at people and say, "Hey, please be my friend," and they say no, and then they run away from you, and then you get sad.
I mean, that's just what the MMOs have turned into, and it's gonna end up being not last. I don't know how to even put it into words. It's sad.
Not last? What are you talking about?
It's just not gonna go in forever.
Oh no. Well, everything has an end. This isn't Final Fantasy 11. Like, the time of that kind of MMO is gone
forever.
So yeah, probably until VR MMOs. Well, let's move on from this 14 shit storm. A lot of it was still really good. But...
You say, yeah, despite all this, I would 100% recommend to anyone who wanted to play an MMO, go play 14, go play Stormblood. It's still a real great game.
In terms of story, top notch for MMOs.
Oh my god. Think right now, Jimmy, if you had to go buy this game, you had no character leveled, and you had to come into this game where it is right now. How long could this game occupy you with leveling just one job and doing the main part of quests and story quests?
A lot.
Long time.
I'm still getting the Aether Currents.
Oh, God.
Jeez. Let's not get into that.
But it really is. It's nice. It's got a good in-depth story that anybody who's just starting out could really enjoy this game, and I would recommend to anybody. And you can email us at mmmHmmm.com
mmmPodcast@gmail.com
and request that I send you a recruit a friend so that I can
No. Me, I'm gonna get the email, so I'm gonna intercept that and get that Twintanya.
Jeez, no, I got Twintanya. It spans.
But yes.
But yes, it's good, and I would.
The negative things we say are because we are fans of the game,
and we're all at the very end content.
Yes.
Player base. The new people that are floating around, we pick on these people with leaves by their name, but they're the ones that are really, really enjoying this game and have a lot to do in this game.
Yep. We've been playing this game, some of us the whole time, and some of us off and on for, the 1.0 came out in 2010, since then, so 7 years. But
I suggest you all join the role-playing only server.
No, do not.
Roll on Balmung.
Stay away from Balmung.
Get on Balmung, get yourself a nice gay wife.
That cancerous server.
Oh, God.
But let's move on. I briefly want to talk about Destiny 2. We'll probably have more to talk about after the PC beta next month.
I doubt it. I mean, it's going to be the same content.
Yeah.
Also, not to peel the curtain back, but we're not going to be recording until before the PC beta next month.
Well, since we're getting into the Destiny
Oh wait,
2,
it's August 28th.
It's the last 3 days of the month.
Oh shit. Oh well. Well, I guess
We'll have more to
won't.
talk about that in September when
Yeah,
we discover
when-
if Jimmy broke down and bought 2 copies of
Yeah,
Destiny.
if I decided to buy 2 copies of the game or not. I'm still on the fence.
I had a dream. I woke up today because I had
Yeah.
a dream that I went out to GameStop and bought a copy of Destiny 2 on PS4. And the
Yeah.
first thing I thought when I realized it was a dream was, oh, thank God. Thank God I didn't make that
Jeez.
mistake.
Wow.
Because I hate the fact that we are in this position, and I hate the fact that we would be rewarding them for putting us in this position.
Yeah.
Because it didn't even do the nice thing of like, oh, and you'd be able to transfer your character over.
Yeah.
yeah, but you're gonna have to. I hope you both realize that. If not, the game's gonna be completely ruined for you both.
I'll just Jimmy will do it, and then I'll have him ruin it for me. It's fine.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Stay off the internet for what is it, a month?
Well, it's not about staying off the internet.
It's about making everyone else stay off the internet.
It's about making, because you are playing the game with other people, like, and they're gonna know all the secrets when you get in. So you're gonna see them head straight, beeline it for the secret caves and all of the things that you should be doing, instead of discovering all that stuff with everybody at the same time.
So, are you saying that if they would do something along the lines of change the first 10 level of progression for the release?
That's not really how that game works.
Oh, it's not. I didn't play Destiny 1, so
So the way it's really kind of an FPS MMO in a lot of ways. So you have your big open areas on each of the planets, and then you have quote unquote dungeon content on each of the planets,
Mhm.
and then you have your raid.
I didn't hear any quotes around that big.
Well, it's because it's an actual raid.
So that's because
No,
they actually
not the raid. Not the raid. The explorable areas.
What about them?
That was
Okay,
one of
Doctor.
see there. I heard the quotes on that one. You couldn't throw it around big open areas.
Doctor.
Well, they're bigger this time.
They are
Right.
bigger this time. That is true.
But one of the big complaints with Destiny was the game seemed small in general.
Yeah, and this time around they've promised they're a lot bigger. So
It wasn't
we'll
in the
see.
beta though, so who
It was not in the beta.
knows?
No.
They
The
didn't
beta
give away a
was-
fourth of the game with the beta, so that's good.
No, that's we hope.
Oh god! Oh no!
We have no idea.
Cannot confirm.
I
The
do
only
wanna
thing we
ask about the beta. I was reading some issues players had with the one dungeon they had that they actually had to go in and fix something with finding these turbines, or they weren't marked well on the map. Did y'all have issues with it?
No.
So-
So go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so the first story mission you do, you go through, and it's probably going to be the first mission from the game, from the way that the story breaks out, because it's got that intro cutscene, and then it's you kind of defending your home tower or whatever. But near the end of that mission, you get aboard the enemy ship, and you're going to power down its shield by destroying this turbine that's powering everything up. And the goal to destroy the turbines is to break like 3 separate fan sections on it. And they're identified with a little diamond marker, but this whole thing is full of like particle effects and bright
Spoilers?
lights.
This is all because people are dumb.
Bright lights, particle effects, all this stuff. And so it can be a little hard to see the marker, at least at first. And in addition to having to break these 3 fan sections, there's 2 giant spinning death blades basically inside this turbine that you have to platform around. And so the complaint was, well, I couldn't see where the thing was, or oh, I couldn't make any of the platforming around because I'm bad at timing or whatever, and all this other stuff. And so they've already come out and said that, oh yeah, like months ago we changed it so there's only 1 spinning death blade instead of 2, so the platforming is easier, and they're probably going to tone down the particle effects a little bit to make the marker a little easier to see and stuff. But I didn't have any issues with it. I hit for a second and was like, is there anywhere safe in here I can stand? Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool, and moved on. But yeah, I can see where people had some trouble with it, even though it didn't seem that big a deal to me.
I had the marker issue. I didn't
Mhm.
see the marker, but I had absolutely 0 problems doing what needed to be done once I saw it. Like
Right. Once you
It was
understood what needed
super
to be
easy.
done, yeah.
Like
Okay.
I don't. It's just people that are really really bad at the game complaining and want it to be an easy roll.
So this is going to be a baby game? Is that what you're saying?
That's
Yeah.
what it starts. Yeah, if
Well,
they
it'll be
take
baby
that
game
stance,
for
yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, Jimmy, it's the first mission. Make it a fucking baby thing. It's the first
I
mission.
felt it like it was a baby thing. I didn't feel like it was difficult at all.
I mean,
I didn't look at it and say, man, that was some mediocre type difficult content in the first mission. Is this going to be like this the whole time? No, I didn't feel like that at all. I felt like, okay, moving on.
I mean, well, yeah. Who cares about the story missions? At least those designs, unless they make those the repeatable ones. But I mean, like, I care about how the raids are set up. And I had this conversation with somebody at work where I played the Destiny 2 beta, all 3 things in it, and I almost lost all interest in Destiny 2. It did nothing for my hype for that game. And then I went to work the next day, and I was talking with a friend of mine at work about Destiny 2, and he started talking to me about Destiny 1 and the raids and how he'd never done any of the raids and was asking me for advice, and I was talking to him about how to do some stuff for Atheon and how to do some stuff for the Templar, and then talking about the Destiny 1 raids, the Vault of Glass, Crota's End, all that stuff made me get more excited for Destiny 2 again.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, like, oh, I'm having that MMO issue of I don't really care about the path along the way. I want to get to the end game. I want to do the big hard raid puzzle challenge stuff. And then I'm probably done until they put more of that in.
I'm complete opposite. I'm not. That's wrong. I'm not opposite. Destiny felt like a complete package for what I want in a game. Like, I like all of it.
I wouldn't
the type
describe it as
of
complete,
grind they
but
have.
yes, it was a good package.
The type of grind they have, like at least after taking King.
Yeah.
I'll emphasize what they had after taking King felt like almost perfect in terms of what I want from like a shooting type game. It had the really good loot stuff. The
2
repeatable
expansions
stuff.
worth of more dungeons.
Yes, all that. The repeatable stuff was still fun every time because they had those really low RNG type stuff that you could get that was really cool. While also I didn't really feel a whole lot of fatigue for some reason with the Destiny material.
Well,
I don't know what it is.
Outside of the 1 month of September. Or the 1 month of the year. As we saw from that cool website that tracks your playtime.
Well, I think that's because I treat it as a new game every time, and I'm playing for 2 months and
2 months.
That's it.
1 month. All of September.
Month
always
and a half.
September. It was always September.
And some into October.
But
I digress. It doesn't really matter.
yeah.
Yeah, there's only a very select people that play this game year round.
The people that do are the people that are playing the Crucible and stuff.
Playing Crucible, and they're streamers, and they're making money off of it, and like
No one's making money off Destiny, not even Activision.
making money off their stream.
I know. It was a joke. Don't worry, Jimmy. I understand how
I'm in
streaming works.
I'm in a lot of pain. It's fine.
Oh no! Why?
On my back. It's
Oh,
all right.
we didn't tell everyone about your butthole problems either.
Oh yeah, so it's not butthole.
So much like Destiny 2.
Last month the podcast was really late because I had hernia surgery.
Jimmy, what's a hernias?
A hernia is a hole in the abdominal layer under you, where organs can seep through.
That sounds
Doesn't have to
bad.
be under you. Can be anywhere in the abdominal region.
Under the skin.
Right.
Well, it can't be anywhere. You can't have a hernia in your arm.
Right.
But-
Anywhere that the stomach is involved.
See, I had what's called an inguinal hernia, but it's really funny. I went into the doctor to get a checkup on just some other random thing, and then I had no issues with this beforehand. So I go into the doctor for this.
Yeah, you go to the doctor. You say,
I go
"Sup,
to the
doctor?"
doctor, and he confirmed what I thought was happening, and he told me what he thought I should do to fix it. It was no big deal. But while checking, he's like, I think you might have a slight hernia. And I never felt anything. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll go see a specialist about it and have him look at it eventually.
Yeah, get a second opinion.
Well, it's not really a second opinion, more just confirming whether I have it or not.
Yeah, get a third opinion.
Because that's not his specialization. He's just a general practice doctor. And he said it was, super minor, whatever. It might be very slight. And I never felt it. So I was like, okay, well, maybe if I start feeling it, I'll go lick it. Or maybe down the road, I'll, on a whim, go get it checked out. Later that night, I actually started feeling it. A bump down there where it was probably my bladder, based on what was going on, was poking through that area. And so I'd have a little bump when I would put any pressure, like when peeing or something. It was kind of funny looking. But within a week of finding that out, I got surgery scheduled and got it fixed. So less than a week of finding out a hernia, I had scheduled surgery and had surgery on a hernia after not knowing. It was really quick. But I was in a lot of pain and really didn't feel like messing with the podcast stuff, so it was late. So if you are listening and you do I apologize. And it might push this episode back a little bit, just because we're recording this one late because that one went up so late. I'm going to try and get it done on time, but it might not. And if you're listening to this, you know what's true. But yes, moving on from that. Destiny 2, well, we'll see. Yeah. I was kind of in a low myself.
Is that the subtitle?
Yeah.
Kinda.
The amount of content that was in the beta, there really wasn't enough for me to get a good feel of it.
It was one story mission that you could not repeat unless you made a new character.
Yeah.
It was one strike that felt a little too long and had maybe the bosses were a little too bullet spongy.
I really liked that strike though.
I mean, it only felt like a little too long. Like it felt like you were like if the main game comes out and we discover, the first half of that was traversing like the patrol zone or whatever, that'd be fine.
But you gotta remember, we dicked around when we played that.
No, because I did that strike again too.
Yeah.
I did that strike a couple times after, and it feels like there's a lot of traversing in that beginning section, which is probably just you're navigating Nessius and through the patrol area a little bit to get to the like strike stuff.
Right.
But aside from that, I thought there was some cool mechanics in it with the jumping stuff, with the big earth excavator, and the boss having the floor is lava and destroying the ground out from underneath you mechanics. I thought those were kind of neat.
Really cool. I liked that a lot.
And then 2 PvP modes, an old one and a new one,
which I could care less about.
And I'm worried that they might be making PvP. Destiny is gonna be an esports, baby, and so we're no raid this year, just esports.
Oh god, if there's no way they're gonna skip the raid.
Okay, we'll see what happens. The only people who can raid have to get to the lighthouse.
Oh god!
And buy a raid ticket from Xur 2.
God,
I have to say, from somebody outside looking in, the stuff I was reading and the number of people whining really worried me as to where that game is going to go difficulty-wise.
It's no different than Destiny. There's whiners.
Oh, really? It was
come in the hundreds. Oh yeah, they whine about everything, mainly about PvP stuff.
Because games like that, 14 included, pretty much all these games, like, I understand the producers wanting to listen to the player base and try to make as many people as possible happy. But man, they've got to figure out sometimes the players don't listen to the ones that are whining. The ones that aren't whining are the ones you need to be listening to. They ain't saying shit, then nothing's wrong.
Well, the problem is those people aren't very loud.
Right.
So it's really hard for them to do that for multiple reasons. One, that's what the board sees.
Yeah, they see the complaints.
Yes.
They're getting 1,000 complaints out of 30,000 people playing, and those 1,000 complaints are a whole lot bigger than the 29,000 non-complaints.
So here's the thing. Nobody writes in stuff saying
good job
here. We want to see more of this. People only write in when they're angry.
Right.
So, and even the people that do, you're putting your good job into you're putting your grain of sand good job into a full beach of fuck off, I can't, this is too hard.
For what it's worth, though, I would fucking hope at this point Bungie has enough data tracking and analytics built in, considering all that stuff they had for Halo 2's multiplayer and Halo 3 and Halo Reach, that they can see, oh yeah, we have 30,000 people playing. We've got about 1,000 people complaining on the forum or whatever. We can roughly assume that this is finely tuned, and looking at the numbers like, oh, this stuff is actually probably okay.
Right. That's what you would hope.
You have to
most
hope.
of these companies
Yeah.
are able to do, but it just seems, it worries me that that's not what is going to happen in the long run. I do
Probably
hope
not.
for the best of Destiny 2, though. It's got the possibilities to be a really good game.
It does.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to see.
Destiny is my favorite game of that generation.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Hold on. Of
This-
the
isn't this still
entire
this generation?
Yeah, that's still this generation.
Uh,
That was a
moving on.
PS4 and Xbox One game.
yeah, but we're now doing Xbox One X and PS4 Pro, and
Oh my god.
no,
We're
no.
still in
that's
the
what
same
that's what it
generation.
means now. We're not doing full upgrades anymore.
Until
that's-
they do not release a PS5
I don't
and
know.
Xbox Box X,
Fine,
Box X, whatever.
fine. It's my favorite PS4 game so far. How about that?
Okay, that's fine. Sure, whatever.
Well, it's still wrong.
But even then, well, whatever. Sure. Okay.
It's my favorite.
No, I
It's the one
get it. No, I get it.
enjoyed the
You
most.
can. It's okay.
It's
You can
fine.
do it.
Hey, yeah, whatever. Well, because
I'm
also
allowed-
the Destiny
yeah.
thing though is so crazy to me because it was a 360 and PS3 game. It has this implication of it's my favorite game of the generation, which means of all the Xbox 360 and Xbox One and PS3 and PS4 games,
No.
Destiny is the best,
and
and that just makes my head explodes.
I shouldn't have said game of generation.
I'm fine.
It's
You
fine.
can say whatever you want. I'm just.
Yeah,
we're
it's
just
true.
giving we're just giving you shit.
When I
greatly
said
enjoyed
that
the
when I
game.
said that I had in my mind PlayStation 4 games of the last 4 years.
Okay.
PlayStation / X console games of what we've gotten so far in this generation. Destiny is my favorite. I've had the most fun playing that game.
Now it's going to be a PC game.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And hopefully the port is good.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
maybe it won't be.
We'll see.
It's all we can.
I
do.
hope. I want it to be good so bad.
So
Okay.
bad.
How is Bungie like? If this game is bad, is it bad for them?
Oh no, they're
Oh,
fine.
Okay, good.
Wait, if Destiny 2 is bad, is it not? It's bad for Bungie if Destiny 2 is bad. If the PC
It's not.
port is
It's
bad,
not. It's not the end of Bungie if it's bad.
That's
though.
what I
It'll
was
be-
more.
I mean,
along the lines
it'll
of.
be rough if they
Well,
have
yeah.
another bad launch. But
It would be rough, but by no means does it put them in trouble.
I'm sure Activision will tighten the screws more and more. But
Maybe they may just cut with them altogether,
right,
which that wouldn't hurt them either. They can do shit on their own.
you got a publisher bad mouthing you as a studio that can be rough. But
Yeah, but it's Activision, so
still,
I guess. I mean, it's all hypothetical.
right? It's all hypothetical at this point because as we all know, the game is going to be perfect. 10 out of 10, 9 stars.
Wow. While we're getting on theory crafting, then
Oh my god.
Game of the generation, Destiny 2.
We got some chicken dinners.
We did. We got chicken dinner.
How many chicken dinners did we get? We
Yeah.
got a date night chicken dinner, and then we got a chicken
Yep.
dinner for a family of 4.
Yeah, we did. Even if only 3 of us showed up.
why don't y'all explain for the listeners at home what winter chicken dinner is?
So, we have mentioned in several podcasts about playing a little game called Playerunknown's Battlegrounds.
Good old PUBG.
And when you win that game, you get a chicken dinner.
Because
Or at least it tells you do.
Yeah, it just says winner chicken dinner, which okay. And as a result, the internet has fallen in love with the concept of getting their chicken dinner.
Chicken dinner, baby. So Mike and I got a chicken dinner in
Duos.
duos. I wanted to say couples.
In couples, yeah. In
Because
couples competition.
Because I did the date night reference. But I was like, that's not right. That's not right. What's the real word? So duos, we've gotten that chicken dinner, and Paul, Mike, and I have the squad dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the squad dinner was not as eventful as the duo dinner, but still felt just as good.
Yes.
So quick rundown. Just man, what?
What?
Whoa.
I don't even know what.
He's in shock.
I'm in shock. Yeah, I never thought I would actually win.
Oh
that
no!
game.
Did you get salmonella from the chicken?
Oh shit! And everyone knows that salmonella is just tiny salmon that swim in your bloodstream.
That is true.
That you get from eating.
It makes you go to Alaska, so
right?
You can spawn.
Yeah.
So wait, you never thought you were gonna get a chicken dinner?
I never thought we were actually gonna win.
And
Like
then
we've
we
gotten
won
so
twice.
close so many times.
Yeah.
Like, cause we've gotten second place 4, 5, 6 times, something like that.
So wait. You were playing a game without the actual prospect of winning in your mind?
No, I wanted to win every time.
every
Okay.
time.
I always play
You
to
just
win.
didn't expect it.
I always play to win, but I never expected it to happen.
Is it that difficult?
Yeah, it can be. So there's a lot of reasons it can be difficult. I mean,
Right.
the game is janky as shit.
Yeah, game is still in
Um,
early access, so it's still kind of buggy.
Yeah. The shooting can be difficult.
Yeah,
Um,
it's got a very unique feel for how the guns handle,
Yes.
which is a good and bad thing. And there is no like, I'm just gonna go practice with these guns. You've got 60 seconds when the match starts, when people are connecting, to run over and hopefully grab one of the guns and try to get some practice in. And then otherwise, it's just drop on the island and try to shoot some people to practice.
Yeah, practicing shooting in that game is getting lucky and finding the gun you want to practice with,
Mm-hmm.
and then actually finding someone to shoot before you
shoot
just
at,
get shot
before
out
you
in the
get
middle of
killed.
a field.
Yeah,
Like-
it is very much the I'm just going to throw you in the deep end of the pool, and if you drown, we're going to get a new kid. But if you don't, then you'll be good.
Yep, that's a good analogy. Yeah, to win two times so close together, it felt really good. But I think part of it is just getting better. I think.
Yeah, as you get better, you like dinners become more common. Obviously.
Learning the dialing in on the scopes was a huge deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely changed long range shooting for me. I didn't even know you could.
Would you say memorizing the maps is helping you?
No,
I mean,
like
really?
we've actually always done a pretty good job of sneaking around and being in like top 20.
Mm-hmm.
Like that from the get go. We've always done a fairly good job at that.
Yeah,
At
the only
least
thing
in
map
terms of what I've been
memorization,
playing.
like map memorization, only really helps if you're clearing a building, and it's like, oh, okay, I know that this building type has rooms here, here, and here.
Yep.
Windows point out here and here, so I can check these windows for this stuff. And when I go in this way, I know to check this side first and then that side.
Okay, so weapons aren't in the same spots on the map every time.
No, weapons are
It's
randomly
randomized,
spawned. Cars are random spawned. Like some
Oh.
areas will have a better chance for higher loot and stuff, but nothing's guaranteed.
Basically, the places where they expect more people to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a big school in the middle of the map where a lot of people will go to, so there's a higher chance. There's usually more weapons.
Yeah,
there.
there's usually a couple assault rifles there. There's a big ass military base that tends to have some of the stronger equipment, but as a result, more people go there. It's a nice loop of, oh, we'll put the strong shit here, but then everyone will go and fight over it.
And really, the only advantage of going to those places is getting into the shit real quick
Mhm.
and practicing murder. Like,
Yep. And
Besides that, that's not the way to win that game.
right. Well, I mean, once you get good enough at the murder, you can drop down there and kill some people or take off real quick. But
That's true. Or hide out. Or,
yeah.
I'm sure. But the probability goes down if you're going into a city for sure.
right, yeah. But it can feel real good to just start that game off and kill 2 squads. Be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, well, even if I lose, I got 8 kills, so
Yeah. Like, getting any kill just because of how difficult it can be. Getting any kill feels really good.
Mhm.
It's not the same as another shooters where, oh yeah, I'm gonna play a game. Well, did I get if I get lower than 30 kills, I felt like I did really bad. No, it's wow, I really killed 6 people that game. Holy shit, I made a lot of murder.
right.
It's kind of weird because that's kind of something that hasn't been in a game for a long time. The idea of a lower kill count actually being a big deal.
And it's fun because fun is maybe not the right word. It's an engaging experience for me because I've been playing this game now, I think for 3 months, 4 months, and I can feel myself getting better at it. Right? Like if you had told me 3 months ago, oh yeah, but at some point you'll have won every mode at least once, and you'll have ended a couple games with over 5 kills, I'd have thought you were crazy. But eventually you start to like, oh, I'm confident enough with my ability to shoot that I can pick up this gun, know that those dudes don't know where I am, and I can do enough damage to them that I can probably kill at least one of them before they can react in an organized manner to like actually threaten me again. And it's a cool feeling to get better at that stuff that way.
Yeah, you can really see how much better you've gotten at that game. It's super apparent.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you kind of you see it more slight. You see a more slight increase in skill in other games, like say Overwatch.
Right.
Where it takes a while to notice that you are actually better at that game.
Playing, like with Overwatch in particular, I never really realized that like where my skill level is at until I play with people that are above me or below me.
Yeah.
Because that game does a really good job of kind of keeping you fair and balanced.
Okay, but that's not a thing that I was about to ask.
It does have
Playerunknown.
it does have an ELO system and a matchmaking system based off your skill. And you can definitely tell if you go in, like if you play squads with 3 people who have never done it before and you've played a lot of solo, your MMR will be so out of whack that it'll be real easy probably because no one's really been matched and stuff. But even then,
it's a lot harder to match people in a game like that.
Totally.
There's a lot more players you're matching at the same time too. So
there's a lot more players. There's not straight up 10 stats they can look at for that because there's a lot of things in that game that are not directly related to how many kills I got or how accurate his shots are, or how often he's won. Those are all things you can look at, but there's so many other skills in that game in terms of surviving that they can't really track. So it's never going to be on the level of Overwatch in terms of matchmaking.
Right.
But hopefully, I'm sure it'll go better, especially because the game's early access. So I'm sure it'll get better.
Still
it's probably not a huge priority for him right now.
No, absolutely not. No. And honestly, I don't think that game needs it as much as, say, an Overwatch does either.
No.
It needs a little bit of it for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
But it's not as make or break.
Yeah.
But you and we've spoken about my love, your enjoyment of this game. But as you mentioned, Paul also got that chicken dinner, and I don't think he likes this game very much.
The chicken tastes like garbage.
Oh, no, it did not.
No, it didn't. The chicken tasted delicious.
No.
But the
side dishes were nasty, but the chicken was the best you've ever tasted.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This game. Everyone loves this fucking game.
It's growing on me.
So you've
been positive from the beginning.
I was, but at the same time, I was not excited about it. I was just one of those games I had fun playing.
Yeah, there were definitely Jimmy and I had conversations where he'd be like, "Well, that was fun. I don't want to play this again until they fix the shooting, or I don't want to play this again until they put in better guns, or I don't want to play this again until it's not hot trash."
That's my current feelings.
I've completely come around on it, and I
is this a game of the year contender for you? Like, is this good enough that you're
for
like,
me?
This is one of your favorite games this year?
It's not game of the year, no.
How big's my list
of game of the year?
If you give me a
like, is this a top? You
give me a list of 5.
Is this your top 5 so far this year?
Yeah.
Top 5.
I would say it's probably top 5.
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Top 3.
Ooh, top 3 gets harder. I'd have to think about it.
You got Nier.
I've got Nier, I've got Zelda, I've got Persona 5.
Yeah.
I've got PUBG.
I don't know if
for my 4.
Because there's a lot of games. I've been kind of playing catch up on a lot of games, so I don't know if this makes top 5 for this year yet. I'm gonna have to play more games later.
Play Horizon still and find out.
I need to play Horizon.
If this game doesn't at least beat Persona, then nobody should play it.
Oh man, someone cut his mic.
Worthless ass.
Cut his mic.
I intentionally didn't mention.
And we're back.
I didn't want this to happen.
Quick, Jimmy! Jimmy, cast Boo-Foo!
Boo-Foo!
Boo-Foo makes that chicken sweet, man.
Boo-Foo!
I want cold
No
chicken.
one wants cold ass
boo-boo.
chicken
See, you know what it means.
So yeah, you
because I
understand
played
what.
it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me cast Verholy, and then I can cast Verflare and Verraise, and then we can go play Lords of Verminion.
Listen. Guess what? A lot of people could infer what those things do by their name.
Oh yeah, what does Holy do?
Verflare. Holy is
Holy is
always.
holy.
Wait. Paul, have you played any of Final Fantasy 14 or anything?
It's
have
not
you played
just
any?
Final Fantasy.
Well, yeah. Have you played any of the Final Fantasy games?
Yes.
Okay, I don't care. Tell me what Verholy does.
I don't know what
Just
the ver.
holy.
I have no idea what the ver means, but that's the thing. I know because I played the games, but I also know what Bufu means because I played Persona. Holy could easily be a healing spell. It could be a. I mean, it could be a lot of like. I have no idea.
All right. So
Holy is
I know
always
what it
one.
is.
You understand
Holy is
that it
always a
white
damage
magic,
spell.
right?
What does
Instantly
Demi
you
mean?
understand that it
What
is
is
white
Demi?
magic.
What is gravity?
Whereas fucking
I'll give you Demi and Gravity, but to make your
Bufu.
entire system of like fire, ice,
It's
lightning,
Sanskrit. It's based on Sanskrit. Listen, I don't
But
have to.
it's
we don't have to-
dumb.
This is
We
dumb.
don't have to have this conversation again. I think it's interesting that they picked a thing and was like, okay, we're just gonna keep this basically forever. That's cool. That's great. Sure, it looks weird when you're coming in for the first time,
It's just not English. Like
but it's just it's whatever.
in
I just
Japan,
want
is
to
it,
know
is it
whether
fire
or
in
not I'm
Japan
telling
too?
my
In the
fucking
non-
character to cast ice or to throw up. Because when you cast Bufu, you don't know what you're getting.
Oh my god.
Boo- boo- boo-
Okay,
So
well,
yeah,
you can
so
leave 'em alone
PUBG is
about
top
the-
5 for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, probably. I can't. I mean, some other stuff's gonna come out this year, and there's some other stuff I have to get back to, but I can't think of 5 games that would push it out of the top 5.
In terms of top 5 games that come out this year that I've played this year, it's probably in top 5 right now.
Are we counting 14's expansion? Although I guess you guys
Yeah.
are kind of mixed on this.
Stormblood would be, yeah. I've had the story content alone, I think, is good enough to warrant top 5 for me right now. It was really good, but that's a different conversation.
Right. I mean, we shouldn't be talking about this.
No, we
I'm
shouldn't.
sure you're going to be doing something like this at some point.
I'm sure we will.
All of us will, and we're gonna
I was
file
gonna say,
lots of
I don't know why you're
paperwork.
throwing out the second person.
We should just talk. We should just talk about it every time in every episode. We should.
Every episode. And now
It's
for
the
the
game of the
checkmate-
year update.
The Daily Gotti update. Yep.
So there's a Japanese game that we played, Mike.
To say,
that-
speaking of fun Japanese role-playing games
That doesn't
that have fun, not English words for all their attacks.
that's never been released in the West.
Yes, exactly. It's Phantasy Star Online 2.
Oh, PSO dos.
PSO, yeah, DOS. That's Japanese.
PSO ni.
No, this is the one that's
Sony.
ending, right?
What'd you say, Seth?
This is the one that's ending, right?
Ending.
Kinda. So, okay. So PSO2 was released in Japan in 2012. It was announced for release in the West that same year. Then, a couple years later, they put out an English version in Southeast Asia based off a fan translation for the Japanese version, which we'll get into in a second here. And then a couple months ago, or it might have been last year, they shut down the English servers in Southeast Asia because there just wasn't enough people playing there. And so that people in that part of the country or part of the world cannot play anymore because not only did they shut down their servers, they also IP blocked them so that no one in that area can
I
actually
couldn't
physically
believe they
connect.
did that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
so ridiculous. I don't know why they went to that extent to make sure they can't play. That's
Me
so
either, man.
weird.
It's so weird. But Japanese PSO2 is still going and running very strong. They actually just put out episode 5. So if you're unfamiliar with the
It's
Fantasy
basically an
Star
expansion.
Online, yeah, basically they break the story up into episodes, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 being the newest. And so they just launched this big content expansion for the game over there. And it adds a new playable class and just a bunch of new areas.
Did it add a
and
new
stuff.
class?
Yeah, it
I
added
didn't
the
see
hero
that.
class, which is kind of neat.
Hmm.
But
What kind of weapon does it use?
so it uses a combination of every weapon type because the whole gimmick with it is that as a hero you're good with everything. So you unlock it by essentially having one of each damage type to max, max level or near max level, 75. And then that unlocks the ability to play, and then they cycle through their weapons while using them, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But the reason we bring all this stuff
I've played
up
a game where a class did that. That's kind of cool.
Is because Jimmy and I have downloaded and installed the Japanese Phantasy Star Online 2.
Yes, we did. And it was really cool. Just alone for the fact that we had to actually write out some katakana.
Yep. To make an account, you have to solve a Japanese CAPTCHA that is in katakana.
So you have to go on Google Translate, handwrite the katakana you need, and then copy that and paste it into the CAPTCHA.
Yep.
And it takes a while to get the right characters that you want.
Yep. It's a lot of eyeballing and like, is that part of the character I need, or is that just the CAPTCHA blocking the vision? And it didn't even interpret my handwriting correctly. Okay, good.
I think
good.
I think the reason for that, if I'm not mistaken, those characters are written in a certain order, like in terms of the lines, and I think that's where it's difficult because we don't know which part to write first of the character.
Because I don't know about you, I don't know any Japanese.
None. I know some words spoken, but in terms of characters, absolutely not.
Right.
And Romanji, I can pick out certain words as well, but yeah, I know absolutely zero symbolic Japanese.
But yeah, once you get through all that stuff, there's a really nice tool for Western fans who want to play this game that basically replaces the official launcher for the game. Will give you English prompts for patches to the game, for English access to download and install the English mod for the game, which like translates the majority of it, not all of it, but a lot of it, as well as like any updates to that stuff. And it lets you actually play and enjoy and understand the majority of the content in that game.
Yeah, there's still a lot that's untranslated.
Right.
But the game does have a nice feature of letting you actually copy text in the game. So if you really need something, you can copy it, plug it into Google Translate, and get the gist of what you need there. I will say, if you're interested in playing it, don't get discouraged on the difficulty of installing. The only thing it takes is a little bit of time. It was super easy. You have to get the installer. You have to get the installer and the fan patcher. But the only thing that takes time is setting up the Sega Japanese account. Mm-hmm. Everything after that is super quick and easy and intuitive.
Yep.
And there's guides on all of this. You just need to do a quick Google search, and everything is laid out for you. So if you're interested in playing Phantasy Star Online 2, go for it. It's not as hard as you think it would be. Definitely, that's what put me off of doing it for so long, because I was very interested in trying this game. But after Mike had shown me the instructions for doing it, I decided to go for it. That being said, I haven't really played a whole lot of it just because I haven't been in the mood for that type of game right now.
Yeah, I've played more than you have by a fair amount.
By a lot.
I'm getting near the point where the free-to-playness of that game is kind of starting to rear its ugly head. I haven't hit it yet, but I'm definitely getting close.
Are you considering spending any money in it?
Probably not. At least not yet. Like, who knows? I might get deeper into it. But it's like, oh well, you failed or you died on this mission, and you're at such a high level that you can't automatically revive anymore. So I hope you brought some friends to revive you. Otherwise, you just wasted the last 15 minutes of your time. Or give us $15 and we'll give you a bunch of the auto revive stuff. And it's like, okay, well that kind of blows. And has that
only been rearing up really bad when you're playing solo?
So that hasn't hit me yet. That stuff I've heard more from other people that I'm playing with that are like level 50 or so. Mm-hmm. That's when that stuff kind of rears up a bit more. I've still had enough of they've given away enough to so background, I made my account back in 2012 when they announced the game, but before they announced the Western release. I didn't play it until this month because I was like, maybe they'll put it out in the West finally. And then I gave up that hope and just went to play it. But as a result of having such an old account, I've got all these like bonus rewards that they gave out over the years.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, oh, I actually have a ton of this self-revive stuff. I just have to manage my inventory because you can only carry one at a time and stuff.
That's really cool. They tied it to your account instead of like your in-game account.
In-game, yeah, totally. And then it's stuff like, oh, I need like 1,000,000 XP to level at this point, and they've given out like 35. Here's 1,000 XP tickets you can just use for free XP. I'll use some of these here, I guess, and stuff like that. But I really liked the gameplay of Phantasy Star Online 1 on the GameCube or on the Xbox if you played it there. And
I played it on Xbox.
A lot of the gameplay mechanics feel the same, and it's really cool. You don't notice that you're so far away. Like there's no inherent server lag outside of like other characters' movement and stuff, which is kind of cool.
That was the only thing I noticed. I think a lot of that's handled client side.
Yeah, totally.
Or otherwise you would see that.
You would see it totally, but yeah, because so much of it is
because when me and you were
client-side.
playing, we totally could see the lag there.
Right, you could see other people like bouncing around everywhere, but you're still capable of like, oh, I can still shoot the guy and kill the guy and contribute and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't anything egregious enough that it discouraged playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you notice it. Like it didn't really affect too much.
Right. But it's cool.
So are y'all saying that the game is good enough to warrant the extra work that comes into getting to play it?
I didn't play much, but I think so.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's because it's a free-to-play game, so you don't have to put any money in. The only, like Jimmy said, the hardest part is Google is auto-translating the character sign-up page and then getting your CAPTCHA correct.
That's literally the hardest part, and it's not that bad.
And once you've done that, it's just a matter of, okay, I have to wait for this to download, because at this point, this game is like 60 gigs or whatever the fuck.
Just like any other MMO.
Right. And then remembering, oh, right, I got to make a character on ship 2. That's the ship where all the English players are.
Which all of that information is in the guides.
Is on the guides, yeah.
So it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you're getting bored and you like that type of game.
Right. It's a unique.
It's interesting. It's interesting to say the very least.
Yes, totally, 100%. And speaking of things that are interesting, if nothing else, which is maybe a harsher criticism than I care to level at this thing, I also played a game called One Shot.
Okay.
Pick this up.
Is that meta game?
It is a meta game. What gave it away? No, so I picked this.
I remembered you telling me about it, and I was trying to pinpoint which game it was.
Yeah, no, this game is meta as heck, because we do not swear on this podcast. And
fuck no.
No, I picked it up during the Steam sale. I was looking for stuff that was cheap, under $5, and was like indie gems, diamonds in the rough, that sort of thing. And I saw a couple of reviews that were like, One Shot, it's like oh, what's that? Oh, it's like Undertale. It's like Undertale, but 10 times as strong or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. I liked Undertale. I'll give it a shot. And
that's a weird thing to say about a game.
It is, but I can 100% see where they're coming from.
Okay.
Because the thing with Undertale is when you play through it on the pacifist route, which, minor spoilers, you can go through that game without killing anybody.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yep. Well, actually, that's not even a spoiler because that's in a lot of their marketing material. But yes, you can beat Undertale without killing a single person. When you do that, after every fight with an enemy, you typically just become friends with them. At least the bigger ones. Like the random encounters, not so much. But like, oh, you're a named NPC and we fought, and you were a boss and we fought, and then I got out of the fight without killing you. And so now you just kind of hang out, and you're like, well, what do we do? I don't know. You want to come to my house for some brownies? Sure.
So when you say don't kill anybody, you mean even the random encounters?
Yeah, totally. You can avoid everything.
So I knew the big fights. There was a way to skip all those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't think you could skip random encounters.
Yep.
That's why I was confused.
Even the random encounters you can get out of without fighting and killing. Well, you still fight, quote unquote, but it's there's always an option to talk or ask for mercy, and that's typically how you do it. But yeah, so One Shot. I was like, okay, well, I'll try it and see. And the first thing I noticed is that the game launches in a window. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to put this game in full screen. And I did a little digging, and I looked, and everything I saw said, don't play the game in full screen. It launches in in windowed mode for a reason.
Okay,
that's a little weird. And then sure enough, eventually it gives you the, here's how you play. This button does this.
How big of a window?
It's a small window.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. So it's not full screen windowed. It's a smaller screen.
It's a smaller window. I don't want to give you resolution dimensions because I'm not good at that, eyeballing that stuff. But it was smaller than like a 1220 or 1280 by 720 window.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a smaller window, and it's made in GameMaker. So if you play the Game Maker game, it's kind of like that.
The RPG Maker thing or whatever.
Yeah, RPG Maker.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, okay, you can play it in windowed or in full screen. Here's how we suggest you play it in windowed. Like, all right, I'll play it in windowed mode. Sure, why not? And you go through, and there's some intro stuff with this character, and you kind of get used to the controls. And it plays. It's like they kind of bill it as an RPG, but it's more of like a puzzle game or a adventure game. There's a lot of, oh, I got the screwdriver. What do I do with the screwdriver? Oh, I do this with this to get this for that, and then this will solve the puzzle. But very early on, that game breaks the fourth wall, because at one point, your character that you're controlling interacts with a computer, and the computer says, no, I'm not talking to you, character name. I'm talking to you. And the character goes, what? And then a pop-up box appears that says, your name is blank, right? And it just used the username for my Windows account. I was like, yeah, that's right. And then you go through, and then eventually someone in the game explains to the character you're playing that you, the person controlling the game, is like God, who is looking down upon everyone.
Sounds like Tron.
And that, kind of, yeah. Except you're not in the computer. You're explicitly you're outside the machine, but the character you're controlling, it can pray to you, and you will guide them through their journey.
Interesting. So this is data mining.
Yeah. My assumption, anyways, is that it came from my Windows account. I can't think of anywhere else I would have gotten that information easily. Because you didn't enter it or anything. And if it's wrong, you can tell the game, that's not my name, then put in whatever you want.
Okay.
And then another example, this is a small, minor example, because the game does a lot of this, and I don't want to spoil too much of the reveal, but I do want to bring up this other one to give you kind of an idea of what this game plays like. Is you're going through this first zone, and there's this poisonous gas over like half of it, and your character can't get through it. And you find a note that says, oh, I hid the last gas mask in this safe. Here's where the safe is. And you go to the safe, and it's like a 4-digit combination, and you haven't seen any 4-digit combos anywhere. And you look around, and eventually you find a computer that says, hey, you should know where to look for this, player. And you're like, what? And it's like, yeah, it's in your documents. Make sure you check your documents. And the character goes, I don't know, do you know what he's talking about? And you can be like, no, shit. And then it goes, look in your My Documents folder, or you can go like, yeah, and then you look in your My Documents folder, and then there's a text file that is like all jumbled up like fake corrupted text and stuff, but then it's got 4 digits in the bottom of it, and some text that's like, this will help you or whatever, but it's like kind of scrambled and stuff. And you take those 4 digits and you put them in the safe, and sure enough, it unlocks the safe, and you get the gas mask, and you can keep playing.
That's cool.
And it does a lot of stuff like that, which is really cool. It's a really neat experience. It's like $5, I think. It might be $10 now, not on sale. I don't remember.
Have you finished it?
I have finished it, and I finished the secret ending, which is not really a secret because they talk about it kind of on the store page. Mm-hmm. But when you beat the game, you make a choice. And it's the first time you beat the game, you make a choice. And they tell you over and over again, you only get one shot. Hence the name of the game. Make your choice, you get one shot. Until you choose, do you do X or do you do Y? And then every time you load the game up after that, it shows you the like last 5 seconds of the ending essentially, and then closes the window. Because you've made your choice. You've had your one shot.
Oh.
Except 100 days after the game came out, back in December of last year, they put out what they called the Solstice update.
Okay.
Because people had already discovered, well, actually, there's a file we can delete. And if we delete this file, we can load the game up again. But it knows...
Basically getting rid of the save state or whatever?
But it knows that we deleted that file.
Okay.
Because now the game is like, you shouldn't be here. You've had your one shot. What are you doing? And then some of that garbled stuff becomes a bit more translated in this playthrough. And some of the meta stuff is like, you already know this stuff, so I'm not going to tell you where to look for it.
This sounds like some Frog Fractions bullshit.
It's kind of like Frog Fractions, except it never gets as insane or wacky as Frog Fraction does.
Yeah.
But it definitely has that, like, breaking the fourth wall kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then, yes.
How are you dealing with that virus? What do you mean?
but then yeah,
The
so,
secret ending. The
secret
secret ending is the wipe of the
What?
C drive.
Actually, you're not that far. No, but no. So the Solstice update comes out, and because people, when they discovered, oh, you delete this file, you can get back and play, there was these doors that you couldn't open in the main game. Well, if you've deleted that file, those doors had a timer on them, and the timer counted down to the release of the Solstice update.
Mm-hmm.
Delete that file, get back in, and now you're playing the Solstice mode, basically, as long as you enter a specific password at a specific point, which it's pretty obvious to at this point. Like, when you're playing the game now, it's pretty obvious what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on it, you basically, Nier style, play through the game again, but this time it's more like ending C to Nier. It's less of you doing the same stuff and more like you're doing a bunch
This is
of
completely
brand new
different.
stuff.
Mm.
And the game is like, what are you doing? This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. You know what the game is. You know you're not supposed to be here. What are you doing? And then like crashing on itself.
Oh wow.
There are mechanics where you need to like it is a really cool experience. I got through it in like 2 to 3 sittings. It's not a very long game. It's maybe 3 to 4 hours at the most.
That was my other question, how long the game was.
But yeah, it's like 3 to 4 hours, maybe a little longer if you want to like make sure you get all the achievements and read all the text and stuff, or if you're a little slow, like slower moving around, because the movement speed's a little rough. There's fast travel, so as long as you remember that there's fast travel and don't be like me and forget halfway through the game that you can just fast travel across the map and just walk everywhere. But it's really cool. I would suggest anyone out there who's into adventure games, or just games with a lot of heart. Like, this is made by a real small team. I think it's like 3 people on it at most. And you can definitely tell it's definitely got that, like, one guy who really had an idea for a game he really wanted to play and really wanted to make and put it out in the world, and that's what this is. And it's
Nice.
really cool. It's a cool experience.
I when you told me a little more about it, I had no idea it
Mhm.
existed. But I'm interested in giving it a shot. I'll probably wait till a Steam sale, but
You'll give it.
how much
one
was
shot?
it? How much did you pay for it in the summer sale?
It was like $3, I think.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, no, it was a real good price for what turns out to be a real fun experience.
Yeah, I'll probably try it out. Occasionally I really like games like that. Like what was the game that had all the weird endings and you're a guy in an office and you had the narrator?
Oh, the Stanley Parable.
Stanley Parable. That so good.
Yes.
Would you put it on that level in terms of how good it is? Or
Probably not that high.
okay.
Like the game has similar origins. Like, Stanley Parable started as a mod, and then people were like, "Oh, this is a cool mod," and the guy got money and was able to make like a full-fledged thing.
They did it in Gary's mod, right?
Right. I want to say it was originally a Gary's mod thing, and then they were able to just put out a standalone thing where they had way more endings and stuff.
Yeah.
And this was originally a
There's
free
like 20-something endings, I think.
Yeah, and this was originally a free RPG Maker game that was just put out on the web, and then he was able to like scrape up some money, got a newer version of RPG Maker that like lets you save and stuff, and then was able to put it out as a full game with some updates and stuff. So I'd say it's
That's
like
cool.
that, but it's probably not to that level, at least in terms of polish and stuff, but it's still cool. Like, it's a little rougher around the edges, but
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's it for games in terms of what you've been playing. I've played a couple other things, but I'll probably talk more about that once I've been playing Hollow Knight, but I'll probably talk more about it once I finish it.
yeah. Good so far?
I really like it. I just hit one of those walls in a Metroidvania where I'm not sure where I need to go to get to the next place. But in terms of art style, music, how good the game feels, it's top notch. I'm really enjoying it.
It looked entertaining when I was watching videos
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
really cool. But I'll have more to talk about it once I get further.
You know what the gameplay for it looked like? The Donkey Kong games for the Super Nintendo. That's what it reminded me of when I was watching the game. Obviously, a much
No.
different art style,
I
but the
can't tell
play
if that's
style looked similar. It was a
That's a good
compliment.
thing or a bad. Okay.
I love the Donkey Kong games.
I liked Donkey Kong Country games as well. It does not.
It
that's not
doesn't
a
play
good-
like those.
No, it plays like Super Metroid or
Okay.
like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's a Metroidvania game. 100%. Like, and that's how it feels. That's how the jumping feels. That's how it feels. Very good. and it rewards you for being very precise as well with the because it's mainly you use a little sword. So I wouldn't say little. It's like they call it a nail.
That just means it's skinny.
Kinda. It's kind of like a spike thing. Like the end of a lance that has like that cone shaped head at the end.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Ooh.
But let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll talk about a couple things that have happened news-wise, and we'll finish up. We'll be back. Welcome back. Seth, you wanted to say something, I think?
I did. Paul, I have to ask about a certain game. A game that belongs to Jimmy.
Okay.
It is a good game. But there's something wrong with this game. And it's still...
The thing that's wrong with it is it's bad.
Can you tell us a little bit about why this game is still in plastic, or what game I'm talking about?
What game are you talking? I feel like he's got more than one game still in plastic.
You're not wrong.
Right. Are you talking about Final Fantasy 13? Oh, well, that's because he's a filthy troll.
Why does he have such a good game in plastic? Why is he?
All right.
Why is he doing this to himself through you?
There might be some preface involved in this.
Yeah, let me address this in a couple. First of all, he still has it in plastic because it upsets me. That's the only reason.
That's not the only reason. That's the biggest reason.
That's the only reason he needed. There's extra reasons, but that's the only reason he ever needed. I feel like even if he had the desire to play it, he wouldn't at this point, just to spite me.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
This isn't even the beginning of this.
How did it all start? Well, go back to the beginning.
You don't remember?
Not really. It's been a while.
Okay, so, oh God, how many years ago was this?
Was I at your house and I saw it?
Maybe. I'm sure it came up. It was around the time that we started actually like hanging out. A little after that. But I had gotten Mass Effect 2 for Christmas, and I hadn't, and it's your favorite game. One of your favorite games.
It is one of my absolute favorite games.
And
Best Mass Effect.
I had gotten it for Christmas and had not opened it yet. And you, every time you would come over or talk about it, you would get physically upset and threaten to open it yourself. And me, always looking for things that make you upset. Proceeded to buy Final Fantasy 13 a while later and never opened that either. Because you actually thought it was a good game for some reason.
It is a good game.
And I knew it was not.
You've never played it. You keep on judging it. You've never played it.
This game is trash.
See? This is what I'm talking about. I can't. You call yourself a video game expert.
I never said I was an expert.
I believe you did.
No?
Mike,
No.
Check the tape.
I think, Jimmy, I heard you cut out there. All I heard you say was, I said I was an expert.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see who has the editing powers here.
You recording locally, Mike?
We'll see.
We're gonna post
We'll see who wins the game of editing.
Shit, Jimmy says.
Shit,
You either
Jimmy
win
says.
or
Is
you
that
get
going to
cut
be
off.
one of our bits?
Shit, Jimmy says.
Shit, Jimmy
Oh,
says.
God.
What's our first one?
I mean, we've got the content.
What's our first one? Shit, Jimmy says. Do 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 do. What's the first one?
That's
it, yeah.
I can't say it for you.
What's the?
The first shit Jimmy says, what's the first one?
Okay.
We
Got it. Got him. We did it.
Got it in
Dude,
like
so
6.
does that
Yep.
answer your question,
it.
Seth?
I mean, go open it and play the fucking game.
Well, see, here's the issue I have now. At this point, I would actually tell you not to bother.
Right. Because it's a bad game.
And that's not why. I played the second one and the third one, or I tried to, and I
Did
fell
you
off
beat
of
the
it
second
really hard.
one?
No.
I thought you beat the second
I played
one.
the second one for like 10 hours, and the third one I played for like 2.5 hours.
I remember watching you play the third one for
I did
a
not
hot
like it.
minute.
I liked 13. I enjoyed it. It's a good game. There's no reason you're not playing that game. 13-2, not so much. Fucking, I hated the 2-person party with the fucking chocobo in
with
the
the
third
Pokemon?
slot.
Yeah,
The
with
Pokemon mechanic?
I hated the third slot. Hated it.
But you love Pokemon.
I know, but that's not Pokemon. That's
Basically.
you
Basically.
have
I'm
to
learning-
farm
I'm learning a lot of
chocobos.
people that like Pokemon only like Pokemon and not Pokemon style mechanics.
I hate Pokemon in every
I mean, it's
other
true.
game. I hated it in 11. I hate Lords of Vermilion. I hate it
Verminion?
in fucking 13-2. Fuck your Vermilion.
You hate it.
Hell, man.
Persona.
Persona is not Pokemon.
No,
Persona is
No.
Pokemon.
I don't
No.
hate it in Persona. I hate Persona.
I mean, that's fine. No. That's fine. I will accept that because it means that he understands that, yes, Persona is Pokemon.
So, but yeah, I mean, don't take and be like, "Oh, Pokemon's successful. Let's put that in our game." No, fuck you. Get
Well,
up,
that's-
get up out of that shit.
To be real, that's every game.
I know.
Every game copies something.
I know, but yes, please take 13 out and at least play it. Or
No.
can I send you another copy and you keep your cellophane one?
No.
and
I mean,
play
I
another
could have.
one?
I could have played.
two that are in the cellophane. if you
Listen,
don't
I
know.
lived
better
with
open it.
I lived with Paul for
before you
3
said
years. I lived with Paul for 3 years. He had every opportunity to walk in my room and unwrap it himself. This is as much his fault as it is mine.
'Cause
So-
I just feel like you can't have an opinion if you haven't at least tried it.
I know enough about that game. I know I'm not going to like it. Because I'm not going to play a linear 40-hour Final Fantasy game to get to the open world part that's probably not that great either.
I don't know. I heard that's the good part. I didn't get there, but I heard it's good.
a
Eh.
good
But no, while we're talking about old ass Final Fantasy games, I guess old ass is probably not accurate with 13.
Old,
but
great 6
Sure,
games.
whatever. old Final Fantasy games, not 6. Another thing, last month, both you and Seth said the game you were most anticipating was the Final Fantasy 12 remake. Did you guys put any time into that?
It's still in the shrink wrap.
I have not.
Wait, hold on.
The 14
hold on.
expansion has eaten a lot of my time. The extra games are gonna come in shortly.
Hold on,
Are you gonna open it
can
on,
we- can we
on
hear-
Are we gonna-
live?
Are we gonna
You
hear
gonna
you
open
pop
it
the shrink
live?
wrap? All right,
Actually-
everyone.
Do we hear? That's the sound of shrink wrap.
Ooh.
Not opening it.
Another Final Fantasy game for the pile.
Okay, listeners, what you don't understand is that he's actually started a collection of Final Fantasy 1 through 15, all in the shrink wrap.
That's right. They never get bought intending to stay in the shrink wrap, but they somehow end up that way. I'm not gonna lie. When I got 14, there was a little tiny part of me that was like, I could do this again.
14 or 15?
15, sorry.
So
But yeah,
you
I
should
could-
have, because that game was mediocre.
it was
Wasn't
good.
great. It was
There's a
decent,
car in
but
it.
13 was better.
By the end of the game,
So,
I
yeah.
liked it a lot more than there are egregious problems with that game across the board, but still, I liked it quite
Is
a bit.
it true you can turn the regalia into a monster truck now?
Yeah,
That's
some
what I've
bullshit?
heard.
yeah, it's part of
you can-
it's part of the DLC.
Oh,
You can drive it off roads and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some new stuff. Titanfall 2 put. Oh, sorry, you were going to talk about your game. You were, weren't you? So, Mike,
What?
weren't you going to bring up a game?
No. I was going to bring up that you didn't play Final Fantasy 12, which was funny to me.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about something
No,
else.
I mean,
Okay.
okay. So, spoilers, listeners. Next month, I might tell you some stuff about Final Fantasy VI.
It's fine. I'm just gonna cut all this out anyway. It's fine. Okay.
Spoilers, future Jimmy.
No.
Next month you might cut out some stuff about Final Fantasy VI.
No, it's whatever. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Okay. Anyway, Titanfall 2 put out a 4-player co-op mode that's horde-based co-op mode.
Yeah,
You fight robots.
that is true. You do fight
Is
robots.
this the
in it.
part? Is this the part we're cutting out because no one played Titanfall 2?
I played Titanfall 2. Mike played Titanfall 2.
That is true. I played it on console.
We just
Jimmy
played it on two different
PC.
platforms.
So we cannot play together.
Yeah.
Paul Bernie was
interesting.
playing.
Interesting thing to note, Titanfall 1 got its like 4-player co-op mode about 9 months after launch.
Mm-hmm.
Titanfall 2 is getting its 4-player co-op mode about 9 months after launch.
Right. It looks really cool. I watched the preview video for it. I think it's out already.
Yeah, I believe it came out at some point. It'll be out by the time this podcast is for sure.
Oh, 100%. Still more of that game I wanted to play that I probably won't get to play because I don't want to do it by myself.
But cool that they're adding stuff.
Very cool, and it's all free.
Yes.
I think every bit of DLC for that game is free.
Not all of it.
Not all of it.
So they sell custom skins.
Well,
and they
I meant
sell
actual content.
Well, no. So they do sell. They sell like custom versions of the Titans. They gameplay wise operate the same, but have a different look. It's almost like
So it's
the legendary.
cosmetics.
It's like the legendary skin equivalent. For Overwatch, where like, oh, this completely changes the silhouette a little bit and tweaks some stuff. It's like that. And I think they might also sell Fast Pass stuff where it's like unlock all the shit for the guy. But yes,
Well, I was talking about actual game content, not like cosmetic
But
stuff.
yes, anything gameplay impacting like maps and game modes, that stuff has all been free.
It's awesome. I
Which
don't
is
know
probably why
how
they
I don't know
just
how
keep
they're getting
bringing-
away with it, but
It's because they're just bringing in Titanfall 1 maps.
oh, is that what it is?
That's I don't think they've put out a new
They
map that
did,
wasn't
yeah,
in
they did.
Titanfall 1.
They did show that a map they're bringing out with that update, or with the update that already came out recently.
Yeah,
They did show a Titanfall 1 map.
yeah. Like every multiplayer map I think they've introduced since launch has been a Titanfall 1 one.
That's not bad. I mean,
No.
still,
For
You
sure.
get to-
for
you get
for a
to-
game that was only on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One,
yeah,
like why not? But
you double your map content
mhm.
with all of the new mechs and stuff. Let's see. We briefly talked about Destiny 2, but just if we didn't say it, the PC beta got a date of August 28th.
Yep, and then the beta got some system specs. The full game, I don't think officially has any because they say the specs might change after the beta is over. But the beta has finally got some minimum, some recommended. And the cool thing is they're like, and if you're buying parts now, here's some parts we recommend for upgrades in case you are getting a new graphics card. or
And it
getting
was
a new
really low
CPU.
spec.
Yeah, I mean it runs on console, like,
Right.
sure.
But still, the PC version's designed to go up to 4K. Like,
Well, yeah.
you
but
think
I
they
mean,
would recommend, if they were going with recommend upgrade piece, you think they'd at least say like a 1070 or a 1080, not...
Well, I mean, it's recommended to get it running, right? Like, if you need the advice of what do I buy to make the game run on my computer, you don't need to be told how to make it run in 4K.
But recommended specs have never been like, this is what we recommend to get it running. That's what minimum specs are for.
Well, this is the way I took it is this is what we recommend for people that are that need us to tell you what you need to run the game.
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, they did also put out what their demo machines were running to get the game going
Yeah.
at 4K.
1080 Ti, i7 7700. I don't think they said how much RAM was on it, but
No. But yeah,
Um,
they did mention some of that stuff.
they did. It's super weird the way they released all that. I know. There's been a lot of weird things involving Destiny 2 over the past few months, especially around the PC stuff.
I have an odd feeling there will be even more weird things involving Destiny 2 for the next couple months.
Man, I really hope not. Months, I mean, because we're only a couple months out. Like,
I'm expecting the game to launch and have some weirdness, the PC to launch and have
Oh,
some weirdness, and then
that's
the first expansions to come out and be a little weird.
that's it. When do you think? So that was not, a lot of people have been speculating when those first expansions are coming.
I could see a late December, early January.
So just like Destiny 1.
Just like Destiny 1, I could see them trying to get back on that schedule.
Ugh, I don't know.
I don't think they'd make it.
I'm guessing
I can see
2 a
them trying.
year. I think 2 a year. So like spring, fall. Maybe not.
No, because they'd have to put out their Taken King equivalent in the fall.
But I think
So I would
don't.
see-
I think they're
I would see
splitting that
spring,
up.
summer.
I think they would go. I think they'd split that up. Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, because I think their goal with this one is to be around much more permanently than Destiny 1. We'll see.
We'll see.
Since they got rid of the old consoles and stuff, so I think it mainly depends how long we stay in this console generation.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's move on. So there's some new stuff going on with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The July update got pushed to August, which is the first-person mode, and there was something else coming with that, right?
There's a new rifle, I believe. It's an M14 crate only. The big thing is the first-person only servers. I think it might have vaulting. Vaulting is either in the July or it's going to be in August, so it should be coming soon.
Really? I thought that was something coming later.
It might be a little later. I don't remember. The timeline for when vaulting is coming has been rough. I will say, I will confirm exclusive news from the PUBG Discord server. Cars are getting car horns.
Nice.
It will be a while, but cars are getting car horns.
I'm so excited.
And they are
so
honk
many
honk,
times,
not beep beep.
There's been so many times when I've been wanting to lean on that horn. Oh my god! Could you imagine if they start putting DLC to do custom horns?
Just custom horns?
Oh my god,
yeah. That'd be so good.
That'd be great.
Just turn this game into GTA Online, please. Speaking of custom stuff, they did announce that they are doing some big esports charity tournament in August as well.
Mm-hmm.
And to fund that tournament, they are going to have paid loot boxes only for this tournament. Afterwards, they're going to get rid of it with items inspired by the movie Battle Royale, which, if you're unfamiliar, is basically the entire inspiration for this genre of game type.
Yes, and Battle Royale was the inspiration for Hunger Games and so forth. Yeah, it's a Japanese movie. That follows the same premise. You know, a bunch of, except it's school children in school outfits killing each other.
Right. Instead of just randomly selected adults and teenagers and stuff.
Right.
But
it's a good movie. I haven't seen it myself, but
the sequel is bad.
No one's ever said anything bad about that movie.
The first movie's good. The novelization's a lot of words. Don't read it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. But no, and then so the big deal though is like they're bringing in these paid microtransaction crates. They're going to have some. I want to say I think one free box and one paid box. The paid box has better loot in it.
And they're doing the key system.
And it's the key system, so you can get the crates for free, and then you have to spend money to get the crates.
The CS:GO,
or to get the keys to unlock the crate.
The CS:GO type thing.
And that's interesting because when they launched that game in early access, they promised they weren't going to have any microtransactions in it until it came out of early access.
Right.
Here they are going back on that, and in response,
this is a charity thing, though.
Totally. So like it totally makes sense because they need to test this system. Because as Brendan, the titular PlayerUnknown, has revealed, he doesn't see plans for them to have any free boxes in the game at launch. Once it's out of early access, he expects all of the crates to be.
So I had heard people talking about that. I didn't know that came from him.
Yeah, that was from him directly. On their Discord, he apparently said that his vision was always, after the game launches, no more free crates. Whether or not that means no more additional free crates, or the free crate that's in the game is also going to turn into a key crate. It was a little unclear, and he never really clarified.
Suck.
But he did say that the plan was always to monetize with crates after the game was out.
I mean, you can do that. I mean, there's a good way of doing that, and just look at Overwatch.
Yeah, it's the Overwatch model. You give people a trickle so that they continue to play, and that way you have a player base for the people who are paying.
Right. But I mean, he's already bought your game. Like, this isn't a free-to-play game. Like,
right. It's a $30 game. I don't know if the price is going to go up for launch.
I bet it does.
Oh yeah, at this point for sure.
Because there was another game that the price skyrocketed right before it got out of early access. Ark Survival Evolved. That's $60.
Yes,
$60.
That game went from $30 to $60.
Yep.
And is still technically not out of early access. Was scheduled at the beginning of August, and that's been pushed back to the end of August now.
Yep. So they jumped the gun on that.
But
still a good game. Ark is a great game. I've sunk a lot of hours. If you're into those open world survival games, that's a great one to play.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they react to all the negative feedback they've been getting about the idea of it only being paid after early access.
100%.
But also, I'm kind of just excited to have some new cosmetic items in the loot pool.
yeah,
like,
they're all real boring.
And the worst part too is they said that they're probably always going to be kind of boring.
Really?
Like they said they don't want to go the H1Z1 route and give you like clown suits and stuff. It'll still be like actual things people wear. But if it's like, hey, here's a Japanese school kid's outfit, I guess, like from the movie, or here is actually that's kind of the only cosmetic. I guess here's a teacher's outfit.
The only problem I could see with crazy cosmetics is the problem you would have with people being easier to spot.
Yeah.
But if you want to equip that,
right,
that's on you. So, I mean, that also goes with the prospect of maybe having different modes, like having like a city brawl, or like stuff like that, where being really sneaky in a field isn't really that big of a factor.
Why not go in dressed up like Rambo?
Right, and why not? That's a fun thing to add to your game. I don't see why.
I'm sure it'll eventually get there. That was an early quote from him, and with the game selling so much, like total, like anything, everything changes.
And they just broke 5 million.
Right. Eventually, you realize,
crazy.
I can sell this for $40. Yeah, we might as well just do this. Who cares?
Yep. Overwatch got some updates. New character Doomfist is live and out of the PTR.
Yep.
And they pushed their loot box update. Speaking of loot boxes.
Yeah, speaking of loot boxes.
So got a lot of complaints over the past year about.
Primarily, though, it seemed to really bubble up with that anniversary event.
Well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's when it was the worst in terms of complaints.
That's when the complaints bubbled up the most, I think.
Yeah. And it's probably because all that shit was really awesome.
All that shit was really good. All that shit was purple or gold.
Yep.
And so as a result, it was just super rare. And when you're getting a bunch of duplicates and not any of the new event stuff, it really started rubbing people the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Which is why they have changed it now. So you are far less likely to get duplicates.
Mm-hmm.
You get increased currency from the currency drops to make up for the lack of duplicate money.
Yep.
And it's really cool. It's good. That's a smart change, except this also, people didn't seem to realize that this would mean you're going to get a lot more whites and blues. There's a lot more of that stuff in the game than there are anything else.
I've gotten a single purple since this update went live.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow. And you've been playing quite a bit.
I've probably opened 6 or 7 boxes.
Wow.
The rest have been white and blue, and I've gotten 0 yellow. The purple was an emote. I did not have.
Was it a good
emote? I'm fine with gold being super rare.
Yeah, it was also highlight. It wasn't an emote. It was a highlight intro. But no, gold. Okay. I mean, it being rare is fine. I'll tell you, when you get currency now, you're more mad than you were before.
I don't know. I've never been mad at currency because that's
a ticket to what you want.
That's getting stuff you want from the events.
Yeah, but the currency's not like the drop rate on currency isn't that great. I want to see what the duplicate drop rate is because they said they were gonna up it if you do get a duplicate, how much money you get for it. But I haven't seen anybody talk about how much that actually.
Well,
is.
I think in the beginning of this you're gonna see less currency because
everyone's getting
all their whites and blues out of the way.
Yeah,
everyone's getting sprays and fucking voice lines and shit.
Oh my god, I've been getting so many of the icons.
Player icons?
Yes, fuck player icon.
Yeah, as someone who almost got every player icon from the event, fuck player icons.
If you would have gotten every one, it would have been worth it, kind of.
How many were you short? Like 6 or 7?
I was short. Yeah, 6 or 7.
That's crazy. We played that event a lot too.
Yeah, we did.
Besides when the game first came out, we were not playing the game as much as we were.
Almost every box in that event gave me a player icon.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I got quite a few as well, but not as many as you did.
What can I say? I'm a lucky boy.
So Doomfist, everyone's played him, right? That's played Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you like him?
He's good. I don't think I'm good with him, but he's real good.
He's too high skill for me to
He's
use.
definitely going to take some getting used to.
He's a Genji, like
I saw
in
people
terms
say
of
that.
ability.
I don't think he's quite that.
I saw people say he feels like a fighting game character transplanted out of a fighting game and into
And
Overwatch.
that's what they wanted.
And that's what they wanted. And
Yeah.
you totally feel it. He's got combos with his melee abilities that
Yep.
don't seem like they would link up, and then you realize, oh
But
no,
they totally do.
if I time it, they totally do. Yeah.
Well, he's also the only character in the game I can think of that, if you use your abilities wrong, you could pop everything he can. Like everything he can do, you can pop in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like you could shoot
Yeah.
all 4 of his shots. Is it 4 or 5?
It's 4 shots.
4.
You could fire all 4 of his shots, which the reload you can't speed up. It just kind of like slowly, constantly regenerates or whatever.
Mhm.
So you could pop his 3 cooldowns, fire his 4 shots, and then have nothing to do for like 2 seconds,
Yeah.
which is crazy. like
Yeah.
literally, you can do nothing. It's not like another character. where
Well,
it's
no,
like,
Well,
oh,
you can
block.
melee.
You can
You
punch.
could.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
that's
melee.
true. You can punch with your nut. Why does he punch with his other hand? Why would you
See,
ever punch with
I
the other
had that
hand?
question too. Like, why doesn't he punch with his big fist?
Probably because they would have to increase the melee damage if he did, because
That just
I
makes sense.
guess.
That yeah.
you should.
I mean, his other arm is also got
They need-
cybernetics in it.
They should add a voice line whenever you melee, and this is like a 1 in 100 chance. You go to punch, and he punches with the small arm, and he just goes,
I use my
"Man, this
strong
glove."
arm.
He goes, "Man, this glove is heavy," and he punches with the small arm.
Or
And it's like, oh, okay, I get it. He's too tired to use his big fist, so he wants to use the little one.
it'd be funny if they gave him a voice line. I use my strong arm in a high pitched voice.
They'd never do
My
that.
strong
They have little jokes, but they always kind of stay in character, like winks at. He might say it in his actual normal voice.
Well, no, his high pitched voice.
No, that would not be in character.
Like I say, you say they stay in character, but they've kind of pushed that Diva is a trash gremlin
Right.
thing a little bit.
Well,
Yeah.
Diva is a trash gremlin. Diva's the most meta character in that game, though. Like,
Yeah,
she is
that's
a gamer.
I mean, you want to talk
Trying to
about
think.
Diva as a
they
meta character.
I mean, they turned Soldier into a Walmart greeter.
He was just looking for work after Overwatch finished. Okay. What do you think he was doing when he got the call from Winston to come back?
Winston didn't actually call him. Winston was picking up some supplies at the local Walmart.
Yeah. I was like, oh!
He's like,
Oh, hey, soldier.
Jack, you're alive.
Ooh.
We don't let animals in here.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's cool. And then Tracer's like, come on, Winston, we gotta go to Gibraltar and push the payload. And he's
Soldier's
like,
like, you guys going to Gibraltar?
back in my day, this would already be delivered by now.
Oh,
And then
boy.
he paid out of his own pocket to go to Gibraltar, and then the monkey was too nice to tell him no.
Right. No, the monkey wouldn't be able to say no.
Winston, we have a sale on bananas.
I prefer peanut butter.
He doesn't like bananas. No, he does not want a banana. I don't.
Horrible.
Let's talk about for a second. Well, did you want to keep talking about Doomfist, or can I talk about the meta for a hot second?
Let's talk about the
That's
meta,
fine.
because
I mean,
Doomfist answers and impacts this meta in a real fun way.
He does. I'm looking forward to it because right now it's the dive meta.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's
Yes.
playing dive comp, and I just want to point out, Winston's pick rate is almost 100%. It's fucking
Mhm.
insane.
People are following
People
the pros.
like giving
and-
handicaps to the other team.
He is the most used
it's fine.
tank. Him and Diva are in almost every game that I play.
Well, now that not Roadhog, because Roadhog didn't get fixed, he got the opposite of fixed.
Roadhog
got
got
brought-
neutered.
Now that Reinhardt is fixed, because I guess there were
Right.
some bugs with his hammer
This
speed and
update in
stuff.
general is going to address it, I think.
Hopefully some changes happen, but
Well, the problem is, I feel like if you have a really good team that's using dive, even if Reinhardt is fixed, dive counters Reinhardt's like normal playstyle. Like,
yeah, that is true.
it just counters
Did they-
it. It's like, oh, there's a big shield. Let's just jump past it.
Let's go around it.
Did they give him that 10% swing update already?
They did
They did,
Okay.
yeah.
on live. he
Has
does
anyone
that.
played him? Does he feel better?
I'm terrible at Reinhardt, so no.
I've seen
Oh.
people say he feels better, but I haven't played him.
They
online.
fixed a lot of things about him though. Like they fixed some hit detection stuff. They fixed his fire
Mhm.
strikes hitbox, which was apparently broken. I don't know if they fixed charge, like hitting people it shouldn't and not hitting people it should.
Well, they were
But-
going to do an update where like it was going to grab people like super far away instead of pushing them out of the way. At least one person, and then everyone after that would push.
Well, the problem right now is that if you use it, like I've seen tons of videos of people using it, and one will like it'll literally like bump somebody around, like it just wouldn't grab them, even though there was like a direct hit. And it might be a latency issue. Like that person on Reinhardt's screen was like lined up, but on their local client they were not.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also seen it suck people into him, which doesn't make any sense because that, like, usually you'd assume it would use your, like.
Well, I think that's what they're wanting it to do.
Oh God! I mean, that's a huge buff if that's the case. Because
I think they're wanting it to at least grab somebody if they're remotely close.
A pin on a 200 hit point hero is basically insta death. Like,
Well, you want to talk about insta death?
Doomfist?
Fucking Doomfist can like one shot a majority of the cast.
Probably any 250 and under, actually.
Yeah, as long as he can line you up against the wall and hit you with a fully charged punch, you have been one shot and you are dead and you are sad and you are like, well, that's cool. Didn't you get rid of the hook and shoot combo from Roadhog because you said one shots were bad?
Yep.
Right.
And now we've introduced a character who's really good at it.
It's like his whole thing. I mean, I've seen the argument against that, which is that Doomfist does not have 600 health. Doomfist does not have a self-heal, like, for half of his health. Like, there's no, like, and Doomfist has no range. Like, Roadhog can do that.
Doomfist isn't a tank either.
Right. Well, Roadhog's not a DPS, Jimmy.
But he also has that giant hitbox, so he dies super fast. So, I mean...
Roadhog is not a DPS. Like, I think the whole reason they changed it, I think they messaged it wrong. Like, they said it was because it wasn't fun to play against.
What they should have said is we're not doing hybrids anymore.
Like his role is not like he's not fulfilling the role that we had intended for him. Like he's taking on a different role.
It's not intended. That's been in the game since beta. So that's a fucking lie. If that wasn't intended.
At one point in beta, you could give Genji a fucking harmony orb, and it would never fall off until you were dead.
Yeah, and also.
But I'm saying, if this was such a thing. If this was a thing that they never intended, and this was such a staple that everyone used, why didn't they fix it before now? Because that's something you could totally change.
I don't think the issue is they never intended. I think the issue is where the game is now. They don't want it like that.
Right, because remember at launch they said hero stacking is a core design philosophy of Overwatch, and that lasted a couple months. I
mean, I give them props for evolving the game as they go. I mean, I don't want anyone to feel like they can't change their mind if they think they have a better idea just because they said something. Like,
well, I don't have a problem with that. I have the problem with the language that they have around it. Like, they don't call themselves out on their bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, they completely take a stance on something and don't say that, okay, well, we just changed our mind. They go back and they'll say, well, it was never our intention.
No, but Jeff Kaplan's so sweet. How can you get mad at him?
I would say that feels to me, as someone who has listened to Blizzard's responses to the community with regards to like WoW compared to Overwatch, it feels more like, oh, you don't have a community manager to go through who then like fluffs up what you're going to say to the community and present your arguments in a specific way.
I mean,
it's just, here's the development team just speaking with you about what they think it should happen and what they think shouldn't happen, and maybe they're right and maybe they're wrong, and you should tell them. And they're a big company, so changes take a little bit of time, but they'll listen to you and try to change it if they need to, and try to change it if they don't. But because it takes so long, it's hard for them to get changes in game quick enough for it to matter. Kind of. I don't know. It's rough. I liked Roadhog better the way he was before. If they do the changes they've been proposing where they make him far more tanky and just give him like a lot of damage reduction and let him move while healing and turn him into a tank, that's a different character to me than old Roadhog, but I think that could be fun to play just as much.
That could be cool because I feel like we don't have, like, our tank situation right now is kind of bad. Like, we've got dive tanks and we've got Reinhardt, and then Orisa is just trash. Like, I don't feel like Orisa ever is good. Like, I've never seen an Orisa and been like, man, that Orisa is fucking...
Really?
Yeah, Orisa's not great.
Me and Mike have run into Orisas that just totally command the fucking...
Yeah, a good Orisa can do that totally. Although that really comes up a lot more in random heroes, because you can work your way around an Orisa if you're allowed to pick your characters.
That's
fair.
Just
get around her real easy.
I still feel
Yeah.
like a really good Orisa can really.
Well, a really
totally.
good anything can fucking wreck me. Like, I'm not that good at the game.
Not
Okay,
true.
Mr. Top 500.
Well, I don't want to brag. But I did see a couple top 500 players in my games. I'm still low plat.
Oh,
Hmm.
low
Fucking-
platinum. Whoa,
fucking
big
Yeah.
man on campus.
I'm low platinum. Oh yeah, I forget. Anyway, so yeah, the dive meta is hopefully going to go away. I think Blizzard's actively
But
trying
you
to
want
kill
it to go away?
Listen. I liked Winston before it was cool to like Winston.
He's
All right.
he's being a hipster about his gorilla right now.
I
Right.
am. I want people to get off my goddamn Winston.
Yeah.
I get into games and people quick pick him, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Quick pick faster.
The
No,
one
I
good
shouldn't
thing I'll
have
say.
to. It's Winston. I should not have to.
So you're
The-
admitting that Winston's bad.
I'm admitting that I mained Winston before it was cool to main Winston.
You're admitting that he's a terrible character and no one should pick
Posters need
him.
to get
That's
outta
what
here.
I heard.
I like to play Winston as a flanker, not as a main tank.
Well, as someone who flanks every character,
You do.
I was gonna say the one good thing about the dive meta is that Symmetra works in all metas.
Or she works equally well in all my.
You can never Symmetra is never a bad addition to the team. If you've got 5 Symmetras, put a 6th on that one.
I mean, well, it depends on your team makeup. There's a couple characters that are interchangeable with the dive meta, no matter who they are.
Like name 6.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I don't
Like,
understand.
The
your
character,
statement.
the characters that are important for the dive meta are mainly the tanks and the healing. Like
Right.
you can have one or two.
Yeah.
You can have one or two damage that are anything.
Yeah.
Well, no, Symmetra is the
Well-
best healer or the best support for a dive meta. So she can put that teleport right next to their spawn,
Yeah.
and then bingo bango, everyone on your team's a dive character.
I
That's
feel
true.
like for it to be dive, you just need a Diva, a Winston, a Tracer, a
A
Genji,
Lucio,
or
a Genji, and
and
a Pharah,
Zenyatta's good.
a Reaper,
Just put
Widow,
one on there.
Soldier's good.
All the
a
characters,
soldier.
all the heroes
All
in
the
there.
characters.
We haven't named all of them yet. Not yet.
Not
May-
Winston.
No
May-
Annas, no Roadhogs.
May is only.
And it's too slow with that peg leg.
Yeah,
May
and no
anti-dive.
Roadhogs, and no Roadhog in the dive meta. He's too good.
Roadhog's out of the complete meta right now.
I've been hearing Doomfist as anti-dive, like he punishes dive, is what I keep hearing.
Huh?
They're saying Doomfist punishes dive.
He's super dive.
Yeah, he's super dive. Doomfist feels like he was designed to counter the 3 tank meta.
I feel
Doomfist,
like
Doomfist is the dive meta.
no, I don't know if I agree with that.
Doomfist invented dive meta.
How can you not
Doomfist-
agree with that?
I
Like,
think
that's his
Doomfist-
thing. He is get into the shit and start wrecking it. Like, dive in there.
Yeah, he is. His mobility, I don't feel like he's mobile enough anymore. Like when the rocket punch went as far as it used to, and when the shift, like when his uppercut into his ground pound let him like go up, basically he could ground pound up into the air. I think he was a lot more divey. I think they kind of pulled back on it a little bit to make him less. I think he's still divey, but I think he's less divey now than he was when he.
So how bad is that change? Because I haven't done that. I haven't played with that change.
Oh, his like you mean between the punch and like both things I said?
The uppercut into the ground pound.
You can't do anything that's
Oh,
above your current
You
level.
can't. Yeah, you've lost all your vertical.
It's
climb.
like Tracer's. It's like Tracer's blink.
Mhm.
Only you
Oh,
have to
okay.
actually aim it. You can't just blink in
Yeah,
that
you can't
direction.
just spam
So
it out.
it's
Well, I
harder
knew that
to-
part, but the uppercut thing.
like he could get anywhere Tracer could get, except it would be harder for
Okay.
him. Using.
I
that
still
ability.
think he's dive as fuck, but
Yeah, but also
I mean, just
his-
not as much mobility.
not as much as he was. I don't think he's as dive as Genji is. I don't think he's as dive as Tracer. He's more dive than McCree. I mean, yes, he definitely slants that way, but I don't think he's all the way there.
Mm.
You can play him that way. I'll meet you at that. You can definitely play him that way.
Meet me
Yeah.
on Hanamura. We'll see.
I'll
who
meet you on
dive and who.
Honolulu. You can dive me all night long.
Oh
What are we
my
talking
God.
about?
I think we're moving on to something else.
Sorry.
So Pokemon Go is a thing.
Ugh.
It is.
I'm gonna move on to
And-
another podcast.
They recently had their 1-year anniversary event.
It went like shit.
You mean it wasn't perfect?
No.
So they had their big 1-year anniversary event in Chicago at the Pokemon Go Fest, and about 20,000 people went to Chicago for the first ever battle raid. which are those things they've been teasing for a while.
Right.
Yeah, what's a battle raid?
It wasn't the first battle raid. It was the first legendary raids. We had been doing normal raids for about a month.
I misspoke. That's what I meant. I meant the big legendary raid, where everyone fights the same thing and catches the same thing. Correct?
You have a chance to catch it at the end. You don't even catch it.
I thought if you beat it, everyone got it.
No, that is far from the truth. Because I went 0 for like 15 on my first Articuno catch.
Oh wow, okay. But they had this huge event for the first one, and they were riddled with server errors. Nobody could catch anything, not even just the legendary. Nobody could catch anything in that area.
A lot of people couldn't even turn their game on.
Right. And they were charging people to get to this thing. It was like $20 to get a band, a little like a yellow armband thing, and it was a complete disaster. The people from Niantic came out and said that they were horrified, absolutely horrified by what happened. Basically, what they've done is they're refunding everybody that was there the $20 band price to get into the event, and they gave everyone that was there $100 of in-game currency.
Yes. Not to mention they were also awarded after the servers came back up. All the people who were attended were given a Lugia and an Articuno, if I'm not mistaken. I know a Lugia for fact. They were given one in their game.
I didn't hear about that in the thing I read. But there's also something happening after. People have began suing.
Yeah, there's a big class action suit against them right now for travel fees. For
travel expenses. Some people traveled as far as Japan to get there.
People are fucking ignorant idiots.
It is pretty dumb to go.
Yeah, that's
across the fucking planet to
just attend
a Pokemon Go event. Jesus Christ.
Especially in the year of our Lord 2017.
Those are the people that burn themselves at McDonald's coffee and shit. It's like,
well, if you have the disposable income, you can make a big trip out of it. I mean,
don't
you really
made a trip
to see them afterwards.
Well, I mean,
you're going to Chicago.
What's really dumb is people paid all the money to go do this, and everything that they didn't get to do that they were promised to do, I got to do at home. So
at home, so you don't have to go anywhere to do this.
Well, I mean, in my town.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you and your wife driving around town.
Me and my wife both went and played Pokemon Go for the last week quite a bit. She caught the legendaries faster than I did. Lucky ass.
That's real nice to talk about your wife.
What a bitch.
Goodness.
I was so pissed. She went 1 for 1 on Lugia and 1 for 1 on Articuno, and I was sitting there, like I said, I had to kill 5 Lugias to get him and a lot of Articunos before I finally got one. Yeah, I was not happy.
God, those are so hard to get. God.
It was.
I like this salty, spicy Jason.
From Jason over the Pokemon.
It takes a little to get him out of his shell, but Pokemon does it.
It's his favorite.
So good.
To be fair, though, with Jason, I could be sitting here like I had a lot of trouble catching a Rattata, and he wouldn't know the difference between Lugia and Rattata. Nobody cares.
What's a Wait, what is it? Is it Rattata or Rattata?
It's Rattata.
It's Rattatat? Pokemon are fucking stupid.
Sure.
But anyway,
fuck that game.
The fact that people spent so much money on something that they didn't have to travel to do was stupid. That's
right.
I don't know if I go that far, but
stupid people don't deserve their money.
Donald Trump teaches us that.
Right.
Now, the fact that Niantic did organize this event, promise this event, and then what happens? Do they deserve to have to pay out for these people? They do. I mean, I think they're completely justified in seeking legal options for just to get their money back for what they. Travel's not cheap. If Niantic is going to host things that are not global events, they are going to host events that are city specific, and try to do things that are going to make to where only these people are going to do this or that, then they have an obligation to make that shit work if people are going to get there.
But if you buy concert tickets to a city and the concert gets canceled, they don't pay for your travel expenses. Like,
Yeah, but
That's a much better example now. I was trying to think of a good analogy.
right, but it's really not, because if that concert gets canceled, they're on tour. It's not like it's going to be the last one that you have. This isn't going to be
the last Pokemon Go event either.
You
don't know
I
that.
think it's
Maybe.
We're a concert.
Did you say you
tour
were able to
does
do
how
everything
many-
at your own home afterwards?
Yes, I caught everything. The only thing that I wasn't able to catch that they caught there were they had unknown release that spelled out Chicago, and you could only catch those in Chicago. That's pretty much the only thing we missed. I mean, there was a lot of extra Pokemon. There were Pokemon spawning all over the place that I guess people didn't have, but most people who have been playing the game since launch, their Pokedex is pretty much complete. So the legendaries are what people were after.
I feel like this fuck up just makes it so if they try to ever do this again, it's going to be a complete disaster for them. Like, people are going to learn from this, and that'll be punishment enough
That's assuming that's a big assumption.
that people are going to learn.
Yes.
Some people are going to learn. Somebody will.
They could go tomorrow and say we're having a thing in Japan, blah blah blah, Pokemon Go. It would sell out almost instantly. I would put money on it. It would sell out as fast as the Chicago.
Oh, of course.
did.
I don't think they owe people the
market
travel
speaking.
expenses. That's your own thing. Like, they were not telling you to travel from Japan to get there. Like,
No, they don't owe people anything.
no. I think refunding the price for admission 100%,
Which they did that, right?
which they did, and they gave extra. I mean,
I don't understand why they can't, if they're going to have a game like this and have an event like this, they need to just make a global event. If they want to charge people to participate, that's fine. Put a $10 in-game pay thing to participate in the global event for the events that are going to happen, and everybody that plays the game gets to enjoy it. It's so stupid to have an event where they expect you to travel from country to country, to expect you to do this.
Well, they didn't expect you to travel from country to country. It was in Chicago.
The entire philosophy of Pokemon is to complete the Pokedex. That's what the original slogan was, gotta catch them all. Like, the whole principle behind it is completing the Pokedex. And the only way to complete the Pokedex right now is you have to go to Africa, Australia, Europe, Japan, North America, South America. Like,
Nope.
do you have the funds to do that?
But this isn't a Pokemon made game. This is Niantic's Pokemon game.
I understand that Game Freak didn't make the game, but
The whole point of the game is to get out and go. I mean, right? Isn't that the whole thing? Go and
Right.
explore.
right, okay, I'll go walk 10 miles, but
But that's where
I
trading is
can't
from.
walk to Australia.
You can trade with somebody to get those, though.
No, you can't. Trading isn't in the game.
And trading is coming, though.
Trading's been coming since they launched the game.
Yeah.
It's
And
unfinished.
still,
It's
you
unfinished.
have to trade with
but
somebody. Tell me right now, on the count on your hand, how many people you know that have been to Australia in the last year.
Seth, there's a thing called the
Paul?
internet.
You can
Half my
already
family.
said that trading will not be able to be done across the internet. Trading will have to be done standing next to the person.
That's fine.
Not
You just
really,
might
it
not.
doesn't
You might not be able
happen.
to get everything. I mean,
Well,
Right,
then
you
no
don't-
point of Pokemon.
You can get everything if you want to hard enough.
I mean,
I
that's
agree
just...
with you, Seth. There's no point of Pokemon.
He got you.
Uninstall.
I'm not trying to say your frustrations aren't warranted, but at the same time, you can't expect them to just do things a certain way. They're making the game they want to make. It's the same with my complaints in Overwatch. Yeah, I'm annoyed that they've ruined Roadhog in terms of the way I enjoyed playing him, but it's totally in their right to do. Like, I've never taken that away. Yeah, it's annoying and frustrating, but I mean, things may change. You never know. You might be able to complete it one day, but
Oh, they've already released that they're doing a Pokemon Safari Zone event in certain malls. Once again, the only place that is released information for right now is like 2 malls in Europe are getting it. Like, it's still going to be a travel thing that I don't know.
That's the whole point of the games, like going places. Maybe not as far, and it might come closer to you, but that's the entire point of that game.
I wouldn't mind if I had to drive to Baton Rouge or something. Like, that wouldn't be a big deal. Like, that's not what I consider major traveling, if that was the thing for an event. But the traveling that is expected in the game currently, if you want to complete the Pokedex, is a little outrageous.
So you're saying you'd rather have a game
if you want to complete the Pokedex, like that's the thing. They're not expecting you to.
Well, I mean,
you'd rather have a game set that was like zoned, where you could, like, say Texas, you can go pick things in Houston and you can go to Austin to get the other ones instead of traveling to Australia or.
No, if they have an event, I think it should be to where at least each state had one place they could go to get it.
Well, try and look at it like this. How many copies of each Pokemon generation get sold?
Hell if I know. I've got one of each or more.
A lot, right?
Yeah.
What percentage of those people do you think fill out the entire Pokedex?
A lot.
Probably not as high as you think.
I mean,
the majority of people that play Pokemon are not maxing their Pokedex.
I mean, a lot of them might not have a living Pokedex, but
I'm telling you, the Pokedex for that game, the majority of players are not maxing their Pokedex.
Then stop playing Pokemon.
That's not all Pokemon is, though.
It's literally the slogan for the game.
It might be the slogan, but that's not all the game is.
Well,
at its core, it's a JRPG.
Oh, here, I'm going to buy this game and I'm going to do the gyms. Well, congratulations, you're going to be done in an hour and a half. Hope you enjoyed your $50 game for an hour and a half worth of gameplay. To take it further, every game you buy, do you 100% that game every time? Yes. Or else
every single game you buy, you 100% everything in that game.
Oh, like on every console?
If
I buy a game for any
I know
of my
you 100% every
consoles,
Pokemon game. I'm talking about every game.
If I buy a game for PlayStation 4 and I'm going to sit down and play it, I try to at least platinum it. Like, that's to me the whole point of playing it. Right.
There's two things here. A, you said try, so you don't do every single one. And B, that's how you approach games. There are lots of people who play games who do not play games like that.
Wow.
The majority of people who play games do not approach games like that.
You're a completionist. That's
Yes.
Well, I can understand it in certain games, but Pokemon is literally a collection game.
That's how you want to play it.
Based around.
The person who buys the game can play it however they want.
Well,
most people don't complete it though. To that level, a lot of people probably even don't beat the game. I mean, that's just most games in general.
I mean, I understand. It's just
I'm just trying to make that argument on their side. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I understand.
They've made this game and it's not designed for you for however long it is up to now still to realistically complete the Pokedex.
Right. That's the thing. It just need to come out and say that you can't complete the Pokedex because
they haven't said either way, so it's fine.
Realistically, your normal person's not going to be able to. I understand that this is targeted for everybody, but a lot of what plays this game is kids. Kids definitely aren't going to be able to do anything close to that.
Right. And most kids are going to play the game for 5 minutes and move on anyway.
Right.
But
they need to do better. I can say that.
Have you enjoyed it even with those problems still?
What, playing the game? No,
Yeah.
I'm completely bored with it. I've been done with my Pokedex.
How much money have you spent on it?
None. I do raid
None?
battles, get my coins that way.
You spent $0. How many hours do you think you've spent playing with your wife and walking around town and stuff?
Playing with my wife, not much at all.
How about playing in general? Period. Like
A
just
lot.
okay.
Hold on, I'll see if it'll tell
Did you
me.
get your free money's worth out of it yet, or are you still mad?
Right.
I'm
I mean, that's
still
the other
mad.
thing. This is a free game.
It's a free to play game that you haven't put any money into, and you've played it for probably some stupid amount of hours.
Yeah, I mean, they've made $0 off of you, and they spent time and money
They're the
building
ones
that
who
game.
pissed, not you.
They've definitely made money though. There are people spending thousands.
Oh
of
yeah,
dollars
they're
on this
making a
game.
lot of money, but you get what he's saying there.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's see. Start date 8/5/2016.
like if I mean, honestly, I think the argument there boils down to they don't owe you anything.
I almost said that like 3 times.
No, okay, me specifically, no.
I don't think they owe anyone anything. I mean, if you don't like it, then don't play it. It's their own design decision.
Right.
When are they going to put Marth in it?
They want to encourage you to go out and explore the world, like the whole world. It's like setting goals. Like they don't have to be goals for tomorrow or next week. They can be goals for years from now.
No, they can't. Because a year
Goals
from
have
now
to
they're going
be
to shut that
immediate
fucking
and
server
attainable.
off.
Right. Well, they don't think that, but yeah.
Hell, they've made enough money on that thing. They could probably keep that game running for decades at this point.
Yeah,
That's true.
they've made a lot. They've made a lot of money.
I mean, they're still making in the millions every day, I think, right?
Yeah,
It's on the top grossing still, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
it doesn't say how much playtime I actually have, but it's quite a bit.
Right. I don't know. I mean, that's a stupid argument, but I think saying getting someone's money's worth out of something is a stupid argument in general.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But money's worth for how much you've played the game compared to money's worth for this event they set up in one location. I wouldn't be near as mad if they had Go Fest in like 5 different locations, not just in the United States, just spread out.
They could have done one on every continent or something.
Right.
That would have been responsible.
That would have, I wouldn't have near the gripes that I do now. But
well, I think,
the way
I think
they
to
did
a lot
it,
of
I
people.
just
Sorry.
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
think to a lot of people, this was more than going and getting an Articuno. This was a chance to get with other people that play this game
Like-minded
and
people,
socialize.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I met up
and
with
and as
people
far
in
as
my
that's
local
concerned,
town
like
that-
they still had that experience. Like they got to hang out with all these people that have.
well,
similar...
they got to be pissed off with a lot of other people.
right? But still,
I've heard of fights breaking out. I've heard it got really nasty in Chicago.
well, I mean, it is Chicago.
Oh, well, very
Oh,
They
true.
were
thanks,
breaking
Tom.
into churches and
And-
shit.
Who picked Chicago? Like,
Have you ever been to
Whoa,
Chicago?
whoa.
Have you ever been to Chicago?
Throwing shade on Chicago here.
Chicago is my favorite city in
Detroit
the
would
United
not-
States.
no, I've never been there.
Oh my god, Chicago is fan-fucking-tastic.
Great food.
Great food, nice people. Like, my experience, my 4 times in Chicago, I have dealt
What
with
are you
nothing
doing?
but
You're
nice
going to
people.
Chicago 4 times.
I went
Concerts.
there. I went there 2 or 3 times for concerts.
Korean consulate.
I went to the Korean consulate. I went there with a group of people one time.
Haven't you
just
ever been to
go.
the Korean consulate, Mike?
You got me there. I haven't been to the Korean.
No.
I've been there at least 2 times for concerts. One with a group of people that were traveling there, and then one for the Korean consulate. And every time I've been there, I've had nothing but positive experiences across the board.
I hear they have good apples.
I might move back there.
And Niantic,
Move.
I will say Niantic
Not
is
back.
trying to make things right. They did do the $100 worth of coin. They, like I said, they gave the characters who were there Lugia.
Mhm.
They extended the in-game bonuses that, well, originally the way it was going to be is the people in Chicago had to do the things to unlock bonuses. Well, as soon as shit hit the fan, they unlocked the bonuses for everyone playing globally. They also let them keep the bonuses for almost an extra week. So they've definitely done things in the game that to try to make up for what they've done. And I'm sure they're gonna, if they have another event anytime soon, they're gonna do something about server issues and things like that. But it's just like any other. I mean, you almost want to compare it to an MMO, like when Stormblood launched. Anything that's run on a server like that, when they just got overloaded and they were nowhere near prepared for what they were about to have
they
to
haven't
do.
said what exactly happened with the Chicago event. I don't think.
I don't know. It blew up.
Because it's not like they haven't had that many people playing the game. Like
In one place on like 7 cell towers or however many.
I guess, but I don't
Probably
think
it was a
I don't know if
big
that
load.
would.
I don't know.
I don't think it would
how games
affect them
work.
on their end. I don't think that would affect them on their
Do you think if Nintendo tried to put how many tickets were sold to this thing?
20,000?
Okay, if Nintendo tried to put 20,000 amiibos onto the new Metroid game, would they make you spend money on every single one of them to get that new difficulty setting I've been hearing about?
Yeah. On the is that what, on the new 3DS game?
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
That's Metroid 2 remake.
yeah.
The
I'd heard they
Metroid-
were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing unlocks that only come with amiibo purchases now. And we kind of saw that with Zelda. So this isn't
Everything
something
is turning
new.
into microtransactions. Anywhere they can get you to spend extra money. Every
know.
game.
I wouldn't call
I mean, the
$15
nice-
for an amiibo and a
Thank you.
microtransaction. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the nice thing about this is like at least you're getting a little figure of
Right.
it.
Transactions.
Macro
Li-
nice.
Little
Nice.
macro transactions.
Little Mac.
Little macro, yeah. Nice.
What does Little Mac do in this game?
You put them on the thing and you get a punch of squishy Metroid.
Yeah,
I mean-
I really want that squishy Metroid. It's so cool.
Well, good. The squishy Metroid unlocks the fusion suit, and I think
Nice.
any amiibo unlocks the difficulty.
Cool.
Is the way it breaks down.
I mean,
yeah.
you can look at that though. You're buying the amiibo and getting the in-game bonuses just extra.
Right.
Because a lot of people collect amiibos regardless. They could tell you you're not getting shit. In fact, it's going to make your game play worse. And people are going to buy the amiibos.
The amiibos I bought because I wanted them as little figures. I didn't want them
Right.
for in-game shit. Like I've never actually used an amiibo in the in a game.
What? Huh?
I would imagine it's coming to where you're not going to be able to do that. It's going to definitely be more of a you need this amiibo for
Oh
this.
my! Super Mario Odyssey. Tap an amiibo down, and then that thing possesses the human in New Donk City.
Oh my god.
Little Mac is now a person.
Oh,
Sonic
God.
is here.
We could
Bayonetta
have-
2.
The Fox McCloud takes over.
I'm gonna find my dad. And then he dies because he's not used to gravity.
You can have Yoshi take over all the people in Dudok City.
Oh no! Normally normally I put you inside of me, but this time
Yes,
I'm going
right.
inside of you. That's bad, Yoshi.
Oh man. Yoo-hoo.
Whoa, Yoshi's here. Hello, Yoshi. It's nice to meet you. Sorry about all the times I threw you in a lava pit.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
You kind of suck, though, Yoshi. You deserve it.
Yoshi's the best
Yoshi was the best in the movie, and that's it.
in the movie. Oh, fuck off.
Whoa, no. No. That movie's good, but not
I'm
'cause
not.
it's a good
I'm not
movie.
saying fuck off because of the movie. I'm saying because you're saying that's the best Yoshi.
Yeah, that is the best Yoshi.
No.
Okay,
Yoshi is great.
name one place Yoshi's good.
Super Mario. Super
Everywhere
Mario,
Yoshi appears.
He's not great in Super Mario 64.
I didn't say 64.
Well, no, I was
Super
just
Mario World.
I was
Super
talking
Mario
about
World.
Seth there.
Oh,
He's everywhere, and in that game, he just gives you extra lives after you don't need him anymore.
that's not how you're supposed to use him.
How are you supposed to use him?
You're supposed to use him to win
What?
without sacrificing him.
No. I'm talking about 64.
Oh, 64, he just gives you, what, 200
Yeah,
lives?
he gives you a bunch of lives after you've already beaten all the stars.
Yeah, it was really dumb.
It's kind of dumb. You don't need him at that point.
But
Like,
he still
we've-
looks cool.
He's
I
really
love
big in
that.
that game, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was thinking.
He's
I was like,
fucking
is that
huge, right?
is that the game where he's like twice the size as Mario? Like,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, he's ginormous.
It's a big Yosh.
He does. Yoshi's great.
Yoshi's just Kirby, but with more legs.
That's not right.
Yoshi's only got 2 legs too.
Yeah, he's got you there.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. Hold on. Did I say legs? I meant to say more feet because he's longer.
How does length have to have anything to do with how many feet something has? Oh, unit of measurement feet. Gotcha. It's like 1 o'clock, guys. But I'm picking up what.
Oh my god. So Jason. Is Jason here?
He checked out when we was talking about
Fucking
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Goddamn piece of
Jason.
shit,
He's still in shock.
Jason, what
Yes.
game are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to a version of Pokemon meets Budokai, and
Okay.
and you have Pikachu Gold fight Goku Blue, and Goku will spend 10
Isn't
minutes
Pikachu
summoning
already
spirit.
gold?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean,
I'm not
you
sure
know,
Jason knew that.
whatever. God damn it! I don't.
Mm.
So you're looking for Pokemon Budokai 3 Electric Bugadaigo.
Right, PC edition.
Okay. And you
Can't
might
wait
be
for
waiting a while.
fucking. I find it ridiculous that that game is just focused on getting people to travel and waste their lives when obviously
Well, it's
Seth
not a
can do-
waste if they're having fun.
Well, it's apparently according to Seth, everyone must complete every single one.
Oh,
Collect them
that's
all.
Seth. That's no, not everyone plays Pokemon like that.
Have none of you ever completed a Pokedex?
Nope.
I
I've never
completed the
played it.
original Pokedex.
I
Okay.
got close to completing the original Pokedex, but someone deleted my save file at school, so then I never played a
Ouch.
Pokemon game ever again.
I completed the original Pokedex. That was the only one.
Paul,
I ever
you've completed a few of them.
That's not true.
You completed the one in black and white, didn't you?
I got all the black and white monsters, but
That's the Pokedex.
Regional decks. You've completed the regional decks?
yeah, but
most-
that I didn't get all the Pokemon you could even get in that game because after you beat the game, you can.
That
Yeah, the
doesn't
national
count.
decks.
I almost completed the
Have
Persona
you
5
at least
Pokedex.
completed the regional decks in almost every game?
No,
I've done it once.
I've done it twice. Then
So even
your
Paul,
numbers are really. I was like, you really like. I enjoyed those games and I play them for a good amount of time, but not.
like even Paul, who's a huge Pokemon fan, doesn't finish it every time. Like,
Well, I don't have to finish it every time now. It's done. It just ports from one game to the next.
oh my god.
Seth,
Well, even the regional decks is what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't even cap the regional decks, and he's the second biggest Pokemon fan I know. Like,
Seth, I'm ignorant. Is the character still relevant? Is Ash still trying to collect all the fucking Pokemon? Is he?
Don't mention Ash.
I think Ash got killed by a ghost.
God, I hope so.
Ash was never in the game.
No, Red was.
Red
in the
was.
game.
Ash was a character made for the TV show.
Oh,
Red shows up in the TV show, doesn't he?
I think so.
And then he's like,
Maybe.
Ash, you're the coolest, and you're my friend and my dad, and I love you.
Go
And
watch
then-
Pokemon Origins on YouTube.
Yeah,
Nope.
it shows up, and he's
not
like,
gonna happen.
that's right. Doing, I'm a Jewish caricature. And you're like, oh boy, ooh, rough.
Paul McBride.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna cut that out. Paul,
What's up?
what is your what game are you looking for?
Whoa, Social Security number 435.
For those listening, I may have given out Paul's last name. Oh wait. I give our last names in the beginning of the damn show. Never mind. Every month.
This should all
What the
probably stay in the podcast.
My God. Okay. Paul PMC Bride.
Yes.
What game
do
are
you
you looking forward to?
All right. This train wreck needs to fucking hit the wall already.
Put this thing back up on the rails so we can hit the wall, Paul.
All right. I'm gonna take it into the station. What for August? Okay, let me look at this list.
All right.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
if you
forward
can't
so
find one in
strongly.
August,
Well,
I'm sure you can find one in here.
I mean, I'm thinking about the rest of the year, and there's not even that many in the whole rest of the year I care about.
Paul's dumb with video games.
That's not true.
He got his Doom Fist.
Um,
Paul, if you want to say Disgaea, that's fine.
It's
doesn't
chicken
really make
dinner.
sense.
Winner.
For August, I'd probably say the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle because
Yes.
let me lay it out. Let me lay out why.
Oof. Okay.
I'm a
It's
big
good.
I'm a big tactics guy. I mean, you know that.
Yeah,
I like tactics
we
and
saw that
strategy.
squad chicken dinner. I know how you use tactics.
I'm very tactical.
God.
I was a
I
decoy
can't hit
in that.
anybody with any of my guns. Paul, try looting the dead guys. Oh yeah.
Tactical. Anyways, I like it when I take turns.
Those chicken dinners are going to be on YouTube eventually, by the way.
These podcasts will be up there too at some point, right?
On YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
They get rolled out when they get taken off of SoundCloud. But I'm sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
No big deal.
So you're a tactics fan.
I like tactics, and that game's a tactics game, and it looks ridiculous. And it's on Switch, which right now I'm desperate for any kind of Switch content.
But you could buy ARMS.
I want to play. Okay, I didn't say. I did say any kind, and that was I.
You can play Splatoon.
I misspoke. I don't think Splatoon looks like my kind of game. In fact, that came out, and no one here. Like, I feel like that's been a pretty big talking point in the industry in general, but no one here really plays it, right?
That's because the industry seems to really love that game.
I don't own a Switch.
I don't think it looks fun.
If I had a Switch, I'd probably play Splatoon.
Yeah, people like it. It's very.
So here, I would play that game if someone had it and brought it up to me. Here, try this. I'm not willing to make the $60 bet.
You know why I would want to play that Switch Splatoon game?
Why?
Because I want to learn how Nintendo uses their voice chat app.
Oh god,
Oh,
we didn't really
man.
talk about that adapter and all that shit.
What is that?
People are making peripherals that have like 20 cables going from your phone to your Switch just to get the game audio and voice chat audio.
You have to keep
into the same
screen
headset.
on.
Yeah, you have to keep the
It's
screen on for the app,
man.
or you
And
can't voice chat.
And if you change apps like to go check your texts or pull up a website, it
You
closes it
disconnect.
all out, and you have
Yep.
to do it all over again.
This is probably a dumb
And-
question, but does it at least put the game audio through the same headphones you're listening to?
No.
the voice chat
Not by
on?
default.
So you have to wear. So Boogie298 shows a pretty good thing about this on YouTube. He wears 2 sets of headphones. He wears his earbuds for the voice chat, and over his earbuds, he wears big headphones for his Switch audio.
Fucking
because
stupid.
Nintendo people who make Nintendo, please fix your shit, because this is not the way we play games in 2017.
You say if you're using your phone for this app, stop.
Yep.
Download Discord
Yep.
and be done.
And if you can, figure out a way to wire your Switch audio through your PC, and you'll be all set.
Yep.
So
There's,
yeah,
there's
Mario.
quite a few different ways you can do that, but yeah. Mario Rabbids.
Mario
Paul's most
Rabbids
anticipated
is-
game 2017.
That's a sad. Whoa. August
You said it.
2017.
You said
August 2017.
it. Okay.
August is a weak month.
Paul. Not Paul. Mike.
Yes.
Paul.
Hello.
Paul, what is your most anticipated game of 2017? What do you mean I don't pay attention to you?
We didn't accept your first answer, so let's try again.
Yeah, let's try this again. See if you can do better.
My most
Mike.
anticipated game of August 2017 is Mario vs. Rabbids. I'm a big tactics guy, and I love to shoot.
Where have I heard that before?
I don't know. Weird. No, I'd say probably Yakuza Kiwami.
Okay,
Looking at
that's
this
a
list.
remake of Yakuza 1, correct?
Yes, that is the PS4 remake of Yakuza 1, running on the engine that powered Yakuza 0, and using a lot of the same assets and fighting styles and stuff. Because like Yakuza 0 has the system where each character has like 3 fighting styles. That got brought over to this game, even though by default, I want to say Yakuza 1 didn't have any different fighting styles, it just had different combos and stuff. But I've always heard the Yakuza series was really good as both like a Shenmue style, like if Shenmue were to continue to be made and follow design decisions and knowledge learned throughout the years, it would probably look like a Yakuza game.
Okay.
And I played Yakuza 0 a little bit. I bounced off that game because it's like 90 hours long or whatever.
My
so actually,
God.
it's more. That's if you do all the side stuff. Realistically, you're looking at probably 30 to 50 hours.
I would never have guessed.
That 0 is very long. You can mainline the story, and you'll miss a lot of the interesting side stuff, and you won't get any of the upgrades for the fighting styles, and you won't unlock the secret stuff. But
Is that like the black sheep in terms of length in that series? Or
as far
were they
as I
all
can
like that?
tell, yes.
I
All I know,
watched,
all I know for sure is that Kiwami is supposedly much shorter. So, I'm hoping that's the case. But I want to try to get into that series because it seems cool. Kiwami is a really good way to get into the first game because the first game was a PS2 game. The
Right.
Yakuza 2 is also a PS2 game, and then everything after that is on PS3 or later.
Those games have a
So-
huge following.
Yes, people who love those games fucking love those games.
Right.
And you can tell Sega really tried with the original Yakuza launch to make it big in the States. They had a big all-star celebrity cast voicing all the characters. Like they got Mark Hamill to voice one of the characters in the game and
I
stuff.
didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he was one of the major characters. And then they realized, oh, we spent all this money on this Japanese-centric Japanese-ass game, and no one bought it. I guess we're never putting it out again. And people were like, well, just put it out in Japanese, just subtitle it. And then they did, and it was much more profitable to do that. And so every
Right.
game after that has just been in Japanese.
Man, it'd be amazing if more games did that.
And then the series has had some stuff because the game is so Japanese. It'll have like, oh, you can go to hostess clubs and date the girls after you build up your relationship, or oh, you can run a hostess club and you can dress up the girls however you want. And when that stuff comes to the States, it's like that doesn't really a concept that plays well here because it just looks like prostitution. So we're gonna remove it. Except now the like 50,000 people that buy the game religiously are up in arms because we're removing the Japaneseness from it. So I guess we're
Right.
putting it back in. And it's kind of had that as a weird tumultuous path as it goes through. But yeah, no, I'm excited for Kiwami, and I'm hoping that Yakuza 2 also gets a Kiwami style remake
If it sells enough, I bet it will.
because they do say they have an announcement coming up for the game, and Yakuza 6, which is the first game I think built ground up for the PS4, is also out this year in Japan. So
Mm-hmm. Is that not getting a unified release?
no, the Yakuza games very rarely get unified
Okay.
launches. They're typically out in
I
Japan.
mean, I know it's
for at
been
least
a while,
year.
but I wasn't sure since they brought 5 over recently, and they did
Yeah.
0.
Like 0 was out in Japan for I want to say about a year before it came over. Kiwami is the
Okay.
same way. Kiwami's already out in Japan. So I suspect that's just a trend that's going to continue.
Probably. That's cool. There's not a whole lot here that I'm really looking forward to next month.
But you've been talking
Uh,
about a big storm about Lawbreakers.
That's the game I'm gonna say. So it's in open beta currently when we're recording. I played one match earlier today.
How is it?
So when I went to the basically practice range
Mhm.
area, kind of like Overwatch, I wasn't really feeling it
Ooh.
at all.
Uh-oh.
I was trying out all the different characters, and I think there's 6 different characters, 6 or 7, and I was not really thinking I was gonna like it. Nothing really felt great. I didn't really see a whole lot of the 0G stuff that I was saying. I went into a match just to give it a shot, and it was a lot different.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way.
Okay.
I enjoyed. So it was hard to figure out a good character to start out with because it seems like quite a few of the characters are pretty advanced in terms of skill level.
Do any of them play like the Gears of War man?
No.
Oh. I would
Yes.
hope
So
they would.
this game is made by Cliff Bleszinski,
Good old Cliffy B.
the Gears guy. This game does not feel like Gears of War. This game does not remind me of Gears of War at all.
No active reloads?
No.
Jeez.
This is very much. It reminds me a lot of Overwatch, but different. Like, it's not Overwatch. No, don't like. The only thing that it's Overwatch is the fact that there's tanks, there's damage dealers, and there's healers. I think I know one healer. I don't know if there's two healers. I think there might only be one. That was the battle medic. And I don't know if the characters they have are all the characters they'll have in the full release. I haven't really looked into it that much. So they could have more characters coming with the full release of the game. But the game, I played one match and I actually had quite a bit of fun. Once I finally found a character that I was playing competently. The outside areas where you're flying around is pretty fun. They have these like gravity well things that will intercept you and fling you around and cause you to go fast, fly across certain areas if you hit them right. Like, there's definitely some skill cap areas in terms of actually moving around, and different characters move differently. Some of them have abilities to kind of dash around. Like, there's one that has like Tracer's ability. There's one that has the rope like Widowmaker has, but they're not a sniper. They can use it a lot, actually, and they kind of have to because their main weapon is knives.
Ooh.
Like I said, like, there's some pretty advanced skill characters. I tried that one initially and just couldn't kill anything. But I'm looking forward to playing more. Did you end up downloading it?
I forgot the beta was this weekend, and then you said, "Hey, yeah, I think Lawbreakers is my game of the month for August," and so now I'm downloading it on Steam.
Yeah, you should download it and try it out with me.
When's the beta over? Is it going to be?
It's through the I think it's only this weekend.
Okay. So over by the time people are hearing this.
Yes, I think it's only this weekend. But the release date is August 30th. Let me find that out really quick.
Do you think this game is going to be dead on arrival on PC? Because a lot of multiplayer-only games
I'm worried about that.
Need an audience to run. Like, so if if PUBG didn't catch on the way it did, and it was still at like a couple 100,000 people playing that game, I don't think it would work as well because you couldn't just instantly get into matches like you can now.
No, this is coming August 8th, so it's just around the corner. I don't know. So it's been getting quite a bit of attention from around the time of E3. It was anyway, from the press. I'm worried about it if I do end up liking it.
Yeah,
because kind of Overwatch has the monopoly on that right now. That style of game, anyway. I mean, it's different in the sense that this is very much more arena-based with objectives versus two teams doing two different objectives.
And this isn't free-to-play, right? It's going to have a pay to get into?
Yes, it's $30 or $40. It's not a full $60 game.
Right.
I think,
but it's still a high enough price that it's going to dissuade people who have no money from playing.
Exactly. Yeah, this is not
Paladins.
Not Paladins of what I was trying to think of the Gearbox game.
Oh, this is not Battleborn?
It's not Battleborn.
Well, no, Battleborn launched at $60.
Did it?
Yeah,
oh,
dude.
It did. You're right.
It only went free to play recently. This might be Battleborn.
That's right. Yeah, because they were saying vehemently that they were not going to make it
go free to play.
Free play.
And then they went free to play and said it's not free to play, it's a demo.
Yep.
That's
Oh man. But yeah, it's better. My initial thoughts that were going to be awesome. And then I did the one thing, was like really down on it, played the match, feeling much better about it. I'm going to play a few more matches and see where it goes from there. But it is still my most anticipated game from next month. So that's it. Email us at mmmPodcast@gmail.com.
Hey,
MHM Podcast.
Hey, wait, hold on. Before we talk about emails, I want to know what Seth is excited for next month.
I'm so sorry.
And Jason.
We talked to Jason.
Did we? What's he excited about?
He wants Pokemon versus DBZ.
Oh, he didn't give a real answer. Okay.
Yes. I am so sorry, Seth.
No, it's fine.
Cats don't have votes. We're
establishing that now.
No rights to guests.
So that when Game of the Year comes around.
Listen, it's true.
If we do a Game of the Year podcast, anybody on there gets a vote.
Okay.
So Seth, what are you
we're
excited
not
for next
letting
month?
we're not letting that game get game.
Persona
of the Year.
5 Game of the Year. You heard it
No.
here first.
It's not happening.
Boop, boop, boop. There's the disconnect noise from Discord because the podcast is over.
And that's all the time we have.
So Seth, most anticipated game of next month.
It's a game that I think you and Mike have already played in early access, but I think I'm going to play it when it comes out this month for full release. That Ark Survival Evolved by Studio Wildcard comes out for full release this month, and it looks really good. I mean, dinosaurs are trying to survive. Looks like a really good game. I definitely want to try it.
It's a lot of fun. You can tame the dinosaurs and ride them and shit.
That's
I don't
cool.
know if you knew that. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I've been playing it since, well, not since. I mean, I started playing it on very early access, like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know it's been on early access for a long time, but
yeah,
it looks neat. And that's
I'm really
probably
surprised it's getting a full release. Like, these games usually don't make it. So it's really cool.
The reason these games usually don't make it is people always point to Ark, the game that said it would be out of early access in a year, and continued to stay in early access for 3 years.
Oh no, the main
launching
reason
a paid survival
they don't
or paid
come out
mod.
early access is because it's more profitable to make an early access game, give up on it, and start making another one right after.
Well, I mean, at that point, you just say that the game is done and can take it out if you want to. But yeah, no, totally. But like, people always point to, don't trust shit in early access. Look at Ark, and look at these other games that failed. And so it is cool that Ark is finally coming out of early access.
And to be honest, Ark has been good enough for a long time to warrant money. So
hopefully, it's good enough to warrant $60.
Not initially. I would say it wasn't worth the money. Even though it was worth the sale that I paid at the time. But it is a very cool game, and it's a lot deeper than you initially see. There's a lot of secrets in the maps and stuff to find, and it is a very good open world survivor game.
good.
With
I hope I'm
dinosaurs.
able to play it with y'all at some point or another.
Yeah, I might get back into it one time.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat. But that's what I'm looking forward to.
Cool. All right. Well, email us at mmmPodcast@gmail.com. You can send in requests for anything.
Which
Anything
Pokemon
at
you would like
all.
to see get killed?
Which
Yeah,
Pokemon should fight Vegeta for the Battle of the Bands?
Right.
Yeah, so which show in the new crossover DBZ Pokemon Budokai tournament.
PC
you
edition.
can-
Rock
PC
Band
edition.
I'm not going to get the PlayStation.
Just to ask, did y'all see that another Just Dance is coming out for the Wii U this year?
Yeah.
Like,
You mean for the Wii?
Just Dance 2018 coming
For
out
the
for the
Wii?
Wii.
Did you know that Just Dance is featured prominently in the Emoji Movie?
Really?
Is it really?
Yeah, the emojis have to go to the Just Dance app and make it good.
Oh boy.
That's a little Emoji Movie spoiler for you.
And I think we'll end on that.
No.
Thanks, thanks for listening to Video Games, and we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.